It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, throw to Rizzo.
It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. It's the weekend, baby. And I am your boy, the superback Shawn Sierra. Let me tell you what, I am fired the freak up today to get on and talk some sports with you guys. We have a great show for you. But man, I feel great. I had a phenomenal CrossFit workout today. And man, let me tell you something. It's always good to get a good workout in and get your energy up. For me, I like high energy. I like strong energy. All right. So today we got a great show for you. And you know what? Thanks for tuning in. I truly, truly appreciate it. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at SM_mornings, at SM_mornings, or you can tweet us at SportsZone Shy. That's CHI, at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you know what, if you do it for the gram, it's just an IG, or you can follow her on Instagram at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. I want to give this guy a quick shout because I know he's working back there. He is my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife. He is a man behind the curtain. He is the whiz, we call him. He can do it all. He does everything. Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Good morning. I'm exhausted is what I am. Like, we had a long-ass softball game last night. Like, it got pushed back because you know, some little kids decided to have a baseball game on the field. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell's wrong with them?
I don't
Baseball
know.
game on a baseball field.
I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
Bastards.
But they took up our time, so we got pushed back, and I didn't get out of there till like midnight. I was exhausted.
Don't the need to be in bed for e-learning today? What the hell?
I'm not the parents. Those aren't my kids. Some people's kids, Shawn. Some people's kids, I tell you.
I'm saying, man, we got to get that stuff taken care of. Anyway, yeah. That's funny. Hey, good stuff. I know he's got a lot of work. He's doing some good stuff for us. We got a great show for you. Listen, we have a great show, but I need you to get interactive with us today. So what I need you to do, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, I guess you found us on YouTube. And you know what? If you're not watching this on YouTube channel and you're watching us either on Facebook or the app, and you know what? Download the app for us. You know, do me a favor. Download the app. Wherever you get your apps from, Amazon, Google Play, iTunes, just download the app, SportsZone Chicago. And listen, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, and if you're not watching this on the YouTube channel, subscribe. Do us a favor. Do me a solid, huh? How about it? Forget about it. Do me a solid and subscribe to our YouTube channel, huh? Don't forget about it, all right? We'd appreciate it. Truly, truly appreciate it. Listen, we got a great show, man, and I am fired the freak up. Get at it. You know, my man is already, man, he's out east. He's pumping up NYC, pumping up NYC, pumping up NYC. Oh, man, you know, he's ready to come out in a few minutes. Joe Phillips is coming to us straight from the Big Apple, my hometown for 2 years, way back right when I got out of college and got back from Italy. He's coming to us from New York City, so we're going to talk to Joseph Phillips from the Chicago Crusader in a moment. At 10 o'clock, he's going to stay with us from 9 to 10. At 10 o'clock, he hands the baton off to our guy, Ken Davis. Ken Davis is going to take the baton from 10 to 11. At 10 o'clock, we're going to welcome David Kenyon from Bleacher Report. Guess what? Big Ten football season starts tonight, baby. Who would have thunk it? We didn't think there was going to be any Big Ten football in the fall. Guess what? Psych. There is. So David Kenyon, excuse me, is going to call it at 10 o'clock. We're going to talk a little bit about this Big Ten football season. Can any teams like Ohio State or Penn State or Michigan, can anyone really get in the top 25 now? We'll see. All right. And then at 11 o'clock, Jason Palmer joins in. He's going to take the baton from my guy, Ken Davis, and he's going to run the anchor leg with me from 11 to 12. And then at 11 o'clock, my man, the one, the only, the draft doctor himself, Draft Dr. Phil Atoshin. He's going to call in, or he's going to come on, and man, we have some film breakdown to go over. And we have I was on his show on Wednesday, and let me tell you, phenomenal reviews. I love being on his show. This dude is he's a freak of nature. You know what? When it comes to coaching and breaking down film, like that's something that I loved doing. I just loved doing that. It's just time consuming, and he does it now on his show. He's got a couple shows, but on the Tape Never Lies network, he's got a couple shows. I was on his show on Wednesdays called Keep It in 100, and basically that's what you do. You just keep it 100. All right, you don't pull any punches. You don't sugarcoat anything. You just keep it 100. And he's going to come out. We're going to break down a little film, a couple of plays, not too many, but a couple of plays, and talk a little Bears as they prepare for their Monday night game against the Los Angeles Rams and Mr. Aaron, I will destroy you if I feel like it. And I got abs and I'm 300 plus pounds. Donald, that dude is a monster. So we're going to talk about that.
I didn't know Aaron Donald. I was looking at stats. I didn't know he had 79 sacks as a defensive tackle.
Yep.
As a defensive tackle, having 79 sacks. If you don't understand that, it's like almost impossible. Like it's damn near impossible to have 79 sacks from that position. It's unbelievable. He's an amazing player.
And he has abs. What the hell is that?
Well, he looks like the Hulk. He looks like Compound Hulk.
Dude, he's got abs.
I know.
He's got freaking abs at 300 plus pounds. At 300 plus pounds, this Joker's got abs. This guy is a freak of nature.
What am I doing? What am I doing wrong?
So David Kenyon coming out talking Big Ten football with us at 10 o'clock, and then Phil Atoshin, the draft doctor himself, my boy. I know that section is going to go long, man, because we get to talking football, we just lose track of time. So Phil Atoshin at 11 o'clock, make sure you tune in. Well, guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning to you, and these are the hot topics of the night before, or just the sports in general. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, do we have some doozies. And you know, the Top of the Morning segment is powered by the Chicago Crusader, and with that, I want to bring him out. Coming up, Pump It Up NYC. Pump It Up NYC. Coming from the Big Apple. Coming to us live from Times Square. He is our man. He is a sports editor over at the Chicago Crusader. You can find him on Twitter at ACA Joe. Bring him in. Joe Phillips. Joe, what up, Papa?
What up, Papa? God bless.
I see you. Pump It Up NYC. Pump It Up.
Baby. Yeah. We doing big things out here.
How you doing? How was your trip out there?
Oh, man, it's amazing. It's amazing, man. We had a great night on our first night out here, celebrating my birthday week. And my wife and I and my son, we went to Celestine's in Brooklyn, New York, by the Manhattan Bridge. Beautiful. Unbelievable.
Nice.
Hit the Brooklyn Bridge. Beautiful. Unbelievable.
Represent PK to the fullest.
Man, Times Square. Beautiful. Unbelievable.
Joseph, I'm happy.
You know, I'm in awe right now.
I'm happy you and your family are having a good time. I just want to know one thing. Do you have Timberlands on right now?
Do I have Timberlands? No. I haven't. Actually, I don't have any Timberlands on. I'm just representing.
Come on, son. Nah.
My son has some Timberlands. On. I'm gonna show them to you. Real quick. He got some Timberlands right here. It's in this bag right here, son. Yeah, he got some nice Timbs. Just for the NY. He got some nice Timbs here. You know these the booted suited Timbs that everybody used to rock in the 90s.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, baby. You know it,
baby. So just to let you know, Ivan, we got some in the house.
Dude, you're rolling with the Timbs, dude. You fit in. These gotta be son, kid. Nah.
Yeah, we got some in the house.
Oh, dude, that's great stuff. Timbs.
Yeah, right. And we got us little New York Mets bat. I had to walk the streets of New York with this last night just in case somebody tried to come at me. And
I got you.
We was in Times Square with this in our hand, so we was ready to rock.
Hey, they don't know you from the Shy. They don't know you from the South Side. They hold on, player.
I can't play them games with nobody. I told my man, back up off me. Back up off me. Spider-Man, back up off me. Fake Spider-Man, back up off me.
I don't know you, son. I don't know you, son.
But shout out to the NYPD Police Department. I wanted to rock this on the end of the night while I was out here. So
okay,
just showing a little love.
Good stuff.
The people.
Good stuff, bro. So when you coming back?
Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday afternoon.
All right, good stuff, man. So you had Thursday nights, you got all day Friday, all day Saturday. Okay, pump it up in NYC. Oh, good stuff, baby.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I got a backdrop for you too, Shawn. There you go.
Oh, boom. Yeah, baby.
Right. We got you for you. Boom. There you go. All right.
A tear dropped my eye.
That's your home, man. We in your home.
No, not my home. Let's not get it twisted. I'm Chi-Town. I'm Southside, born and bred. Don't act crazy.
Yes,
me and you're gonna have to have a conversation when you get back, Papa.
Jesus in the back. Jesus in the back. I can't say anything.
Hey, like my guy, Dr. Phillips, who's coming on later. I got to keep it 100, bro.
Yes,
I'm Southside, born and bred. Let's keep that real.
No, me too. It ain't changing. Just like the dude told me yesterday. He's from Queens. He was like, I said, how's Brooklyn? He said, there's nothing in Brooklyn. I'm from Queens. I was like, man, y'all sound like how we sound in Chicago. You from the South Side, you born and raised. There's nothing like it.
Dude, my roommate from college was born in Queens, and all he kept saying, he had that Run DMC line, "Kings from Queens comes Kings."
Yeah, from Queens too.
Yep.
I keep forget about
she
that.
represents Queens. She was raised out in Brooklyn.
Yeah, right.
For all my hip hop heads, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you're too young. You're too young. Hey, well, let's get right to it, Papa. The first top of the morning topic: the Chicago White Sox. Yeah, I didn't want to do the World Series one. That's the sorry. Chicago White Sox interviewed Tony La Russa for their managerial job, according to the score. Really? Come on, man. The dude's like 89 years old, and you're trying to get it here. I'm telling you, here's what I'm thinking, Joe. All right, here's what I'm thinking, Papa. I'm thinking it's just a smokescreen. I think they brought him in to be a consultant. Maybe they interviewed him as I don't know. They're not going to hire this guy. They can't be serious about hiring a guy who's been out of baseball for 9 years. 9 times. Your son's been absent from school 9 times, Mrs. Bueller. All right? 9 times. 9 years he's been out, and you want to bring him back for the grind? No. I think it's, again, as I said earlier, I think it's a smokescreen that to have him just pick his brain, see who he thinks might be a good candidate for the new head coaching or the new managerial. It's not head coach, new managerial position for the White Sox. Your thoughts, Papa?
Well, this is remind me of a hiring back in I guess with 03, the 03 season with old man Jack McKeon. I remember he led the Florida Marlins to the World Series, so this maybe be something similar to that. And old man Jack, the thing I like about old man Jack, he was very cool, So Tony La Russa, he got that mob boss mentality, He's like, it's just a no nonsense. If Tony La Russa walk into that locker room, all personalities must cease. You see what I mean? He's like a godfather. You see what I mean? Like that Italian, strong born,
Him and Chuck Pagano are going to be best friends.
That's right. They don't play no games. They like mob bosses. They play no games, So, it's a hiring, that you can look at. You don't have to worry about a cheating scandal, even though I always thought the Cardinals cheated. But other than that, you guys got a, authentic manager who earns respect, Tony's like the godfather, man, when it comes to baseball, man. He's a winner, a born winner. Oakland A's champion, St. Louis Cardinals champion. So, hey, he'll get y'all back to the World Series. And what better way to do it as a former White Sox manager, to bring back a former White Sox manager, not Isaac Ian, but Tony La Russa.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I think it's a little too crazy. I think there's, I think as I said, there's going to be a lot more interviews going on. AJ Hinch is going to be one of them. AJ Hinch is going to be. He can't be. Vernon, you got jokes this morning. I see, huh, Papa? You got jokes. Jerry Manuel. Only way he's coming back is as a bench coach or a first base coach. That's about it. First base coaches don't do jack. They have no responsibility. A first base coach.
No, don't forget about Ozzie Timmons. Now he was over there doing like 10 push-ups a run for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay, bring Jerry and have him do push-ups. Vernon, I see you, Vernon. I just think once the World Series is over and they can interview Hinch, I think that's their guy all along. I wouldn't mind him or Cora. I do want Ozzie, but they made it clear that he's not a candidate for this job, so we have to move on. And I think that in Rick Hahn's description of what he wants for a new manager, I think that AJ Hinch is the guy. I think AJ Hinch is the guy. And if we get him or if we get Cora, either one, I think would lead us to the promised land. I do. I think that they're both phenomenal managers. And they're both going to have to, and this is a way for them to kind of come out of the shadow of that cheating scandal. Mm-hmm. And it's always going to be there with them. But if you can go on to another team and win a World Series with another team, scandal free, then you know what? I think that comes a long way, because the scandals are always going to be attached to those two guys wherever they go. Mm-hmm. But it's still, if you win a World Series, then you gain a lot of credibility, because the White Sox aren't that competitive or evil to do that. That Jerry Reinsdorf is a guy who wants to win it and win it the right way. So I just hope so. Look, we got a comment. Alomar might be good from Vernon. Yeah, Vernon, but I think Tito Francona is having some health issues over in Cleveland, and Alomar would he's over there, and that would probably be a better fit for him. That's probably his dream job. So for him, he's probably going to take himself out of the equation, especially if Tito steps down. Then he'll step right into Tito's spot over in Cleveland. But I do agree with you though, Vernon. I do think Alomar would be another great pick for the White Sox to lead this squad. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We got to see how it all plays out. How the health of Tito Francona is. Because if he decides to stay, then he can definitely be a viable candidate for it. And you know what? You give me any one of those three, Alomar, Cora, or Hinch, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, as long as everybody's ready to deal with the cheating scandal question, if you guys can handle that pressure, then, hey, well, go for it. But all I can say is to start off with Tony La Russa as the manager, one thing he doesn't have to ask any questions about, and that's the cheating scandal, because that's going to be a cloud over you guys' head. They're going to question everything y'all do, especially when it comes to AJ Hinch, because they feel that it's an asterisk next to his name along with Alex Cora. So at the end of the day, like I said, my two choices, I had Isaac again. And then that second choice, like I said, Tony La Russa would be perfect. But it's your team. I'm going to stay out of White Sox business. And y'all do what y'all do,
Okay. Speaking of the White Sox, the Jose Abreu was named the American League's Outstanding Player. This is an award that he received from his peers. And I hope it is a precursor to one more award that I would like him to win, and that would be the American League MVP award this season. And Jose Abreu is just a freaking stud. Let's just call a spade a spade. This guy he's Mr. Consistent. It's unfortunate that a lot of times that because his personality isn't very flamboyant, it's not very loud. He's really still a quiet type of guy that he doesn't get as much love and as much credit, as much respect, I believe, as he deserves. He talked about it yesterday. He said, it's always special to be recognized by my fellow players across the league. This is what Abreu said in a statement. He said, I want to thank everyone who voted for me and appreciates my respect for the game, but my ultimate goal remains to help win a championship for the Chicago White Sox. That will be my greatest accomplishments and one that will make my family the proudest. See, even in that moment of being singled out for your individual achievement, he still puts the focus on the team, and that's just a first class dude, man. There's nothing more, nothing less to be said. He's just a straight up first class dude.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Jose Abreu. He reminds me of Big Frank without the attitude, because I know that a lot of times Big Frank used to rub guys the wrong way, some of his comments and stuff. But Jose has been a humble, humanitarian individual. He's one of those guys you'll like to cheer for when you're on the other team. And, he's a great leader. And he can hit the ball. Shout out to Jose, man. Congratulations, brother.
Yeah. He's looking to join Frank Thomas in 93, 94, Dick Allen in 72, and Nellie Fox in 1959 as the only White Sox players to win the MVP award.
Can I get Steve Jackson out of you? Whoa, Nelly. No,
I miss him doing college football. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Nelly, let me tell you about Bo Jackson.
Oh, Jackson. Oh, Bo. Oh, Bo. He reminds me of Uncle Otis a little bit. Yeah.
Keeping in White Sox business, the White Sox get 5 Gold Glove nominations. This goes to show you how good their defense was. Both catchers. How crazy is that? Both catchers. Yasmani Grandal and James McCann get a nomination for a Gold Glove. Danny Mendick, there was this big surprise. He didn't play a lot of the season. He played toward the end of the season, a short stint, and Nicky Two Strikes came up.
Nicky Two Strikes.
And Danny Mendick, he played a hell of a second base, man. He played a hell of a second base. And then Yo Moncada at third base. Dude, this kid is just awesome. It's just unfortunate that the COVID situation really did a number on his body, and he wasn't able to perform offensively the way he wanted to because of COVID. Because that would have been a great thing if he had been hitting around 300 and then win a Gold Glove as well. Come on, man. And then the last one, center fielder Lewis Robert. Lewis Robert gets a Gold Glove nomination already. You know what, dude? I'll tell you this. He had a couple of nice catches. I think, and I'm okay with it. I'm just saying I think he got a Gold Glove nomination because of the hype. Because a lot of the things he did in the minor leagues, he had a good start to the season offensively. He made a couple of nice plays. He had a couple of chances. I'm a little. I say that because remember he had 2 or 3 chances to bring some home runs back, and he didn't do it. He missed time to jump. He just missed it. It went over the glove. There's a couple of different scenarios that played out. But you're talking Gold Glove, like you got to have that timing down for the jump. You got to bring home runs back. And I know he covers everything from Wisconsin to Indiana. I know that. But there's those certain things, those plays that what's his name? Adam Engel has that down pat. So you take, you know what I mean? Like if it's kind of close, Adam Engel's jumping up and getting it. Lewis has to do a better job of stealing home runs, because if he does, then I put him in that Gold Glove nomination every single year moving forward.
Yeah, totally agree. And when it comes to nominations can lead to great things in the future. And whenever you're nominated, that means that the rest of Major League Baseball has their eye on you, and you have the future potential to dominate at that position, or potentially dominate at that position in the long term. So if they don't win one this year, at least they can say they were nominated. And Grandal, McCann, what a great combination to have 2 catchers nominated for a Gold Glove. I've never heard of that before.
Neither have I.
That's my first time hearing that. But like I said, it's the first time of everything. You guys got a chance to make history. Like I said, you get the right coach in there, get them bats going, get you a number 3 starter, like I told you guys early in the season, but y'all ignore me. That's okay. And hey, you never know, man. You guys will be making noise next season.
I think that signals that's the coup de grace. That is the straw that broke the camel's back. That is the final nail in the coffin for James McCann to exit the White Sox because his value on the open market is going to go through the roof. He's hitting 300, I believe, last year. He's an all-star last year. This year he comes in, has another stellar year. Some clutch hits throughout the season in the playoffs, and now he gets a Gold Glove nomination, and the guy wants to start. His ability to handle a pitching staff was evident with Lucas Giolito and with some of the younger guys too, with Dylan Cease, with Crochet, and with I can't think of it. My guy, the Tommy John guy. It just slipped my mind.
Are you talking about the pitcher?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Dane Dunning?
Dane Dunning. Yeah.
So
his ability to handle those young guys and get them right and get them calm, get them relaxed. That's priceless. That is priceless, and he can do that with any staff. And I just don't think it's going to be with the White Sox next year. I just think he's going to have too much money. He wants to start. I don't think, even if you split the games down the middle, dude, and you go 81-81, I still don't think that's going to be enough for him. I think he wants to start a whole bunch. And, here's the thing. Maybe keep him. You use him as a DH, sign him. But I don't know, man. I think he really wants to start, and I don't think he's going to stop until he finds a team that is going to have him start,
Unless this up, he pulls off a Dexter Fowler, man. You remember that? You remember what Dexter did? We thought Dexter was gone in the 2016 season because we thought the Baltimore Orioles had him wrapped up. I was like, man, if only we could keep Dexter in his lineup, along with Jason Hayward. We was like, man, I wish Dexter would have stayed. Spring training came. Here come Dexter out of the locker.
Yeah.
Right, we winning this. Let's go. So you never know, man. Miracles can happen, man. I've seen great things happen in Chicago, especially with the Cubs, man. So McCann could be that South Side guy to be like, you know what? I know I can get my money on the market, but I want to win a World Series again. I want to do this thing. I want to do it with this team.
Yeah, and you know what? I wouldn't blame him if he left. There comes a point in time. Championships are nice, but there's an open window that a lot of players don't get to see. That second contract, a big time contract, and James McCann has earned a big contract by his play the last two seasons. Because remember, he was a cast off in Detroit. Detroit didn't even want him, and he comes here first year, manages the pitching staff unbelievably well. And not only that, he ends up going to the All-Star game. So,
right, and he got chemistry. He has chemistry with Giolito. That's going to be
time.
Giolito. Like I know Giolito's lights out, but he's really lights out when McCann is behind that plate. So if he loses battery mate, y'all need to work out something for that, because if Giolito's your ace and McCann has a chemistry with him, I don't think you should break that chemistry up. I think you should find a way to keep him here, add another hitter like Osuna or somebody like that, in that field, in that lineup, and add a number 3 starter, man. You're only like 2 or 3 pieces away. Make it happen.
I agree.
Mr. Ronsdale got the money. I don't know why he playing games. He got that Brewers money, Michael Jordan money.
I agree. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Big Ten football getting underway this weekend. Things starting tonight with Illinois visiting number 14, Wisconsin. Last year, the Illini squeaked out a 24-23 win. Kickoff tonight at 7 Central. Tomorrow, home kickoff for Northwestern against Maryland at 6:30. 2:30 Central, Iowa visits Purdue, while Indiana hosts number 8, Penn State. The Bears are set for Monday night's matchup. They're on the road visiting the Rams. It's a 7:15 Central kickoff. Chicago's 1-2 in a row, 5-1 overall atop the NFC North. The 4-2 Rams battling in a competitive NFC West. This year's Gold Glove nominees have been unveiled. 5 players from the White Sox, including Yasmani Grandal, 7 from the Cubs, including Anthony Rizzo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at boomernaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330-95.9 The Zone.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with any type of lung cancer? Even if you've smoked, your lung cancer may be the result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. In many cases, companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and that it was significantly more dangerous for smokers but didn't protect their workers. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 for more information. Who do you call for the legal assistance you need? You call the law firm that has the experience, support staff, and resources to fight for asbestos victims diagnosed with mesothelioma and lung cancer, even smokers whose risk factor is 50 times that of non-smokers. With decades of combined experience, they are here to determine if and when you were exposed to asbestos and who should compensate you. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, call for more information and a free case review. You don't pay anything unless they win. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 today. Sponsored by SWMW Law.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. It's the weekend, baby. And hey, Joe, I'd ask you what you're doing, but I think I already know what you're doing. You're partying up at NYC, and I'm a little jealous.
Oh man, come join me, man. Come join me, bro. You and Ivan, man. Y'all gotta come join me. Yeah.
I have no want or need to set foot in the city of New York, so.
Oh no, Ivan.
Whoa.
Look, Ivan, let me share something with you.
What's all that about, Papa?
I just don't have I get maybe it's just like the seeing it in your face all the time. New York, the Big Apple, like everybody wants to go there. I think the magic about it's just kind of never wore on to me or it just wore off on me. I just say, man, look, I don't need to walk around the streets where there's just trash in the middle of the road, all right? I don't want to have to step over a garbage bag. Okay? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel you, man. But guess what, buddy? It's nothing like Times Square, man. Nothing like Times Square. It's the media capital of the world. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
You know, funny story. So when I lived there, now mind you, I'm coming from Chicago and college. Right, and Italy. So I get there, and so we move into our place on in Manhattan, Upper East Side, 88th between First and York. Okay, me and Troy, and we're in a Greystone on the first floor, and 2 doors down is a high rise. Across the street, it's a high rise. So Monday's not garbage day. It was Tuesday, apparently. So I come out of the apartment, and all this garbage is on the sidewalk. I'm like, what is this? And Troy, my roommate, he had to start work. He started work earlier than me, so he was gone. So I'm just like, what the hell is this nonsense? Like, put this crap in the alley. What the hell are they doing? And I get to work and I talk to the guys on my desk. I'm like, dude, why do they put the garbage on the street? That is the nastiest thing in the world. Why don't you put it in the alley? Guys like, we don't have alleys.
Right.
I was like, what?
Right.
He's like, we don't have alleys.
Right.
I was like, oh, damn. No wonder. Okay, that makes sense. Right. And so I'm telling you what. After the stockbrokers, the richest people in New York are the garbage men, because when they go on strike, they get whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. Hey, can I share something with you too, since you mentioned that? We was in Brooklyn last night. So my son was like, Dad, I gotta get to the washroom. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I was like, we left the restaurant, so I was just like, okay, what do we do? So he was looking, how when we meet, we be like, all right, let's find the nearest alley. We could not find an alley. We could not find an alley at all. So guess what? We was like, okay, let's go over here. we get into this dark area. My wife was like, "Look at all these rats! Run!" It was rats everywhere. It was like this super dark. I was like, "No."
Whoa, what's all that?
It's just went up on my thing. I was trying to delete it off. Somebody sent me a meme of some shit. Sorry.
Okay. Everything's good. But we was rats everywhere, man. We were just like, you know what? Let's get out of here. So we left Brooklyn and we were out, bro. But it was beautiful, man. I mean, like we saw everything, man. But the rat thing, I can't get down with these rats, man. These rats are too aggressive out here.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I heard that they got like these morph rats, like these like bear rats.
Yeah, mutant ninja turtle rats, bro.
Yeah.
What's all that about?
It's the food.
Yeah, they got tons of food, bro.
They got, like you just said, they got garbage.
So like these rats is like, are they like a different species of rat, or is it like just a regular rat that just kept eating and eating and eating?
It's a regular rat that had a come up, like. It's just like, just imagine all the rats from Chicago moving to New York and having a come up. It's just like if you go from poverty to being rich. That's how the rats, even the rats are rich out here. They eat better than some human beings out here because of the garbage that's compiled. Even the homeless guys, I mean, it's a privilege to live in Times Square. Like it's like you out there sleeping on the ground, but you in Times Square, okay? What better place to be? You see what I mean?
That's what you're saying. Is so like if all the rats in Chicago formed up like Voltron, they become one New York rat.
Super rat, massive splinter. I'm out.
10 Chicago rats equals one New York rat.
I'm telling you, those things they're not pretty, and it's not pretty. But we can get off the rat talk. The next top of the morning topic: LSU. Man, did you hear this? LSU, Louisiana State University, has some self-imposed penalties, and they have banned Odell Beckham Jr. for 2 years because of this is part of their self-imposed bans. Because if you remember, he was giving out $100 bills to players in the locker room after the SZC championship game, and see stuff like that. Like, look, dude. Odell's a weird cat. He's my roommate is really good friends with Odell Beckham, and he's just different. He's just different, and yeah, they said the school's docking itself of 8 scholarships, so it's limiting its scholarships over a 2-year period, and it's reducing its recruiting visits. Evaluations and communications after nearly 2-year investigation uncovered booster payments to the father of a football player. And this is what sources were told Sports Illustrated. And then it banned, as I said, Odell Beckham for 2 years because he was passing out $2,000 worth of $100 bills, so $100 bills to the players at LSU. Like, come on, man.
Let's do it together.
Man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? First of all, Odell Beckham was like them drug dealer dudes that they try to go legit. And then, like, you know how Frank Lucas was? Like he got so rich, he got so big to a point financially where he was like, hey, you know what? I think I'm all good. Like I think I made it to the top enough. As soon as you relax, here come the FBI looking for you. You see what I mean?
All because of that jacket. All because of that chinchilla.
That's right. All because that one furry coat. But at the end of the day, Odell Beckham is silly for this. Like, come on, man. You can't come on the field passing out $100 bills, man, and think the NCAA aren't going to investigate.
On TV. Like, everything's filmed. They're filming a celebration.
You on TV, bro.
Come on, man.
Shawn, man. I know the man. I understand. I think they should have some money. If somebody wants to toss them some money, cool, right? But you did it in such a way, like so me, so ostentatiously, so like, hey, here you go. Like you did it in the biggest stage, a big FU to the NCAA, and it was just like nothing to you. So I mean, to be honest, like you deserve whatever band they give you. You're a professional athlete now, so I don't really understand why you would care. And number two, to be honest, I don't know why you were so hyped anyway. Your ass wasn't on the football field. Joe Burrow wasn't throwing to you.
Yeah, but it's different, dude. Once you're an alum, you support big time, dude. Especially if they're winning. So he felt part of the organization, even though he wasn't a player anymore. He's still an alum, and the pride that he has for LSU goes deep. So when they win, that's why he was. I get your point, but you also got to get being an alum.
He's gonna be happy. He's gonna be happy for his team. I just think he did him a disservice because he did it on the field, like on the field. Like if you did it in the locker room, that's one thing. But you did it immediately on the field. Like you just were showing us, making sure the camera saw the stacks and making sure that they saw you emphatically hand in hand shake and hug everybody that you wanted to give money.
That's really sad. And it's too obvious, too. Like I tell you, it's like a drug deal gone bad, dude. Are you kidding me? Why are you selling? It's almost like selling drugs on video and you turning yourself into the police right there on video. You're like, oh,
let me go Facebook Live while I sell this.
Right. Here's the
dime bag.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. You got to get better than that. And then, OBJ, my whole thing is, man, I know he's an alum. And most alums give back to their schools, but not like that, okay? Ask Chris Webber, ask Jalen Rose, okay? What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we know these guys give money to these players, man. Once they blow up and make it to the NFL, they take care of the guys behind them, and that's just how it is. But not on national TV, okay? Odell Beckham got a little bit too carried away.
Got too stupid is what he did.
He wanted to get all the $100 bills, just throw them out there like he was at the strip club. I don't know what's the problem with it. Just crazy.
I don't either, dude. Well, moving on to the next top of the morning topics. Woo, Charlie. The Seattle Seahawks are taking a good, strong look at Antonio Brown, embattled wide receiver Antonio Brown. That would be. So you guys, first of all, you have DJ Metcalf, who is an emerging superstar. Okay, remember that guy's like 6'3", 225, who runs like a 4.3 40.
Is his dad Eric Metcalf?
DK Metcalf.
No, he asked if his dad was Eric. That's what? That's a good question. Check it out. See if that's who was.
When I heard that, Metcalf, something triggered in my head. I was like, wait up. I know somebody fast like that with the last name Metcalf. I wonder if that's his dad. Just asking. That's all.
Yeah. So you know what? The Seahawks are all in. All right. They're making all the moves necessary for a deep run in the NFC. Okay. They just saw, and I posted. It's like I said, hey, because remember, Le'Veon Bell is about to sign with the Kansas City Chiefs, and he has to go through that protocol. So I said the Chiefs said to the NFL, "We see you." We said we raise you a Le'Veon Bell, and I put at Seattle like, "We see your Le'Veon Bell, and we raise you an Antonio Brown." So,
Eric and DK Metcalf are cousins.
Okay,
there it is. I knew it. I had a feeling.
This is going to go a long way. You're talking about a guy who's can still be productive. You're talking about a guy, and say what you want about him and his alter ego, okay, AB. But Antonio Brown, at one point, about a 3 to 5 year span, was the best receiver in the NFL. And you come out of a small school, okay, to become the best receiver in the NFL for a 3 to 5 year period. It means one thing. It means you work. It means you work hard. And to put him around a DJ Metcalf is scary. Because if you get a guy like DJ Metcalf who put in the work, I don't give a damn if he colors his hair white, he colors his hair red, colors his hair blue, cuts his damn hair off. Antonio Brown knows how to work and get better. And if you instill that type of work ethic into a guy who's with such raw speed and ability of a DJ Metcalf, my goodness gracious, what the hell is this guy? He's going to be another Megatron or something of that nature, or Randy Moss, something of that nature, if they end up signing Seattle. Now you got two studs that you can throw to in Seattle. I hope they sign him. I do. I just hope they sign him. I want him back in the NFL. I hope he's going to be getting help for some mental issues. It seems that he has, but I really would love to see him get back in the NFL.
Although I don't like how AB dissed the Bears. I know he was on the Big Cat Williams podcast on the Prime 21 podcast talking to Big Cat Williams. Because Big Cat Williams asked him, he says, what'd you think about Nick Foles and the Bears? He was like, Nick Foles? Nah, I don't think so. I don't want to ever think about the Bears. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Don't take a shot at us. But at the end of the day, I would like to see him succeed, even though he's a little crazy in the head. He's more like a Dennis Rodman type. What he can do, as long as he does his job and go out there and play, you can put W's on the board. But all at the same time, a guy like Russell Wilson, he definitely knows how to get you the ball. Very accurate, pinpoint, can throw on a run, can run without throwing. So that's some dangerous weapons to add. And then that Seattle defense, So hey, they looking like they're primed for another Super Bowl run. You don't want.
I hope he's. You would hope, like you said, Shawn. Like he's the best receiver in the league. He was doing things that you can only sit and be like, damn, that guy is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like he's awesome. He's just that good. He was that good. But then you saw, personally things start to unravel, and that's all said and done already. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if he's able to instill work ethic, if he's able to come back and just focus on football, it's the best thing for the Seattle Seahawks. It'll be the best thing for the Seattle Seahawks. You have it now. You have a true All-Pro receiver, one of the best in the league. Next to a blossoming receiver, going to be one of the best in the league. And you have a guy that works, that shows that can show the way on how to become this how to become the top receiver in the league, because he did it. He did it. Not only did he do that just being drafted regularly, he did that coming from a small school, being pretty much a nobody, and reaching the pinnacle reaching the heights that he's reached.
Right, and he probably come in quiet, as an introvert. And the reason why I say this is because there's no spectators in the stands, so you can't really. You make a touchdown, you can't do anything crazy to get penalized because there's no fans to really entertain. And it looked like AB is that type of person that played towards the crowd. Well, without the crowd there, he should be on his best behavior. So, like I said, he's in a perfect situation. You don't got to worry about the fans taunting you or anybody distracting you from the sideline. All you got to do is just go out there and play football and win.
Yeah, me, Shawn.
Coming from Central Michigan, he was a late round pick, and I really enjoyed him as a player until his alter ego AB took over. But this is the kind of guy who can really. He's 32, so he's got a couple of years left. Not too many, but he's got a couple. Who can really take this franchise, take that offense to another level? Because when you get a legitimate number one receiver with a quarterback like Russell, who can do all the things that he can do, extend the play, with his legs, run for first downs, all right, buy time, escape trouble, and then you have a guy like Antonio Brown who led the league and who was very crafty himself. This is a good fit for them. As I said, they saw what the Chiefs did, and they said we need to make a move as well. And it looks like they're going to end up signing Antonio Brown, because if they do, again, I'll be happy for him. And he just got to make. And I think he's in a locker room that can absorb him, and not have his antics ruin or tear apart that locker room.
Well, I think that would be the only place for him that would be able to absorb him at this point. Because you got a guy like Pete Carroll, the players' coach. The organization is pretty much a players' organization, and the team with Russell Wilson, the team doesn't need Antonio Brown. That's the thing. They don't need you.
Right.
Just like the Patriots didn't need you. This team doesn't need you. And I hope that – and granted, like he tried to get on the team after the fact that he knew he was going to get in trouble with the Patriots. After the fact. He already did whatever he did, and he was going to get in trouble for it. So it was like – it was kind of always going to be doomed. It was doomed from the start. But with Seattle, it's a different story because he served his suspension. It's a clean slate, right? You would think it'd be a clean slate. You go to Seattle, like I said, if you don't keep your head down and just work, you're going to find yourself out of the NFL if you're Antonio Brown. If you revert back to old ways, and I'm not saying he will, I'm just saying if knowing what he's done, if you revert back to old ways and you start tainting the locker room, you'll be out of Seattle as well. And then where do you go?
That's right. And then you'll be in the CFL again. You don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
Still around. My whole thing is this, or the XFL. You don't want that either. But my whole thing is this. When it comes to AB, I think he's going to the right team. I think Russell Wilson is a strong enough leader to deal with his personality. And last but not least, this is his first time, I believe, playing with a African-American quarterback. So I don't know how that will help him overall, as far as just Russell being in leadership versus like a Mike Tomlin, who was his head coach. Now you got an actual player who's produced on a high level, who's won a Super Bowl. You can't run him over. You can't disrespect him. He's out on the field with you, and not only he can talk the talk, but he can walk the walk.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's a man of God too. So shout out to Russell, man. So I think he'll be a good example for AB. Hopefully, he can help change his character and return to the status that he was before, prior to his AB alter ego / crazy man act.
I wish him the best. Next top of the morning topic. Michael Jordan. You know what? He's my man. And so we got to do a Instagram discussion yesterday with one of my guys from college who's very pro-black, and I've had this conversation with other people that Michael doesn't donate. Michael doesn't give back to communities. Michael doesn't, and his famous line, "Republicans buy sneakers too," lives in infamy. People say that all the time. But Michael Jordan, yesterday, he opened a second medical clinic in Charlotte to help the uninsured people get the medical help that they need.
Wow.
We reported on the first one a couple of months ago, and remember, we did mention that there were going to be two that were opening, and we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop for this one to open. And and I didn't get to reply to my guy because he got up. He was this morning, and I saw it when I was at CrossFit. But you have to understand, and mind you, I don't hold things against people. I got to understand sometimes where they come from,
right?
And the time frame they grew up in, the area they grew up in, and even despite that, if we can still hold them accountable for all that, for not supporting the Democratic candidate for senator or governor in Carolina over Jesse Helms, and some other things that he did. My thought is this: he doesn't have to do this.
Right.
Okay. He's given away. Remember, there was a lawsuit against Jewel that he had, or that he won with them. He sued them for using his likeness without his permission. Right. He won that. He gave all that money away to charity. He's done a lot. And so, and the one thing that I think that people forget, and so after the show, I'm definitely going to respond to my boy. Like, the one thing that people forget is Michael Jordan. Sometimes you got to play the game, okay, to get what you want. Because now that Michael Jordan's an owner, Michael Jordan has the ability to hire whoever he wants. And I'll tell you what, he's put some African-American people in positions of power in his organization, positions that they probably weren't going to get.
Right. Can I share?
Yeah, go ahead.
I totally agree. And this is what I tell people when it comes to Michael Jordan. First of all, Michael Jordan is smart. Okay. He's an intelligent man. Second thing, when it comes to giving, Michael Jordan gives privately. Most philanthropists that give, let me share this with you, they don't make a huge announcement about it. They do it low key. Most of them don't want you to know where they've given to. You know what I mean? Like, Michael Jordan has given all his life, but he never talks about it. We're living in this age of social media where All these guys are giving with the wrong intention just to show Michael Jordan up, like a LeBron James, who likes to put on press conferences and all this stuff to show that, oh, I'm the champion of giving. No, you're only giving because you hear people say Michael Jordan didn't give. You're not giving because your intention is to give. You're giving to show up someone else, which is not good intentions to give. That means you're a fake, you're a fraud. When Michael said what he said, he was just telling the truth. And then in addition to that, and this is what I always tell my buddies at the park in the hood, I said Michael Jordan has made more millionaires than most African-American leaders have. You know why? Because of his game. What he did with his game allowed other guys to get endorsements. You see what I mean? It allowed other guys to get these huge contracts that you're seeing. It allowed guys to get these huge contracts that don't deserve these huge contracts.
Bingo. I was just about to say that. Just about to say that.
So here's the deal, okay? and this is stuff that really gets on my nerves. I tell them, I said, look, there's different ways you can impact the civil rights movement. There was two ways. You can do it socially or economically. And Michael Jordan has impacted the movement economically. You know why? Because he paid the way. He's the only African-American billionaire owner in the NBA. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. To this day. And he had to get into a good old boy network that didn't allow African-Americans in there. The only reason why he was able to get in because of Bob Johnson's connection to the media. And Bob Johnson bought those Charlotte Bobcats at the time. And then Michael bought them away, changed the brand. Now his name and his logos are not only on the brand of the Charlotte Hornets, but also on the Detroit Pistons jersey.
That was awesome, dude. How much shade was that? How awesome is that, dude? How petty is that? I got you right there.
Yeah, February.
From now on, if you go to buy like a new Pistons jersey with let's say like an old school number on it,
right?
Jordan's logo on it. So let's all go get Isaiah Thomas jerseys.
Isaiah Thomas jerseys.
Right. Jordan's logo. It's super petty. I don't care.
I love it though. Like you said, Mike, you can be petty, but Michael, when he does things, is super petty. Okay,
right.
Because he's Michael Jordan.
You know what? That's like 50 Cent buying out the whole, like the first 10 rows of DMX's concert, so nobody can, so no one's there, nobody can go.
Ja Rule, not DMX. Ja Rule's concert. 50 Cent, because you talk about now. That's petty. That's petty. And you know what? That's almost up there with Michael, and I love it. I love it. Well, listen, we gotta take a break. And hey, Joseph, thanks. Bye. You have a great weekend up in NYC. Tell my people up in NYC I said what's up. And we'll see you on Monday, all right?
All right. God bless you guys, man.
All right, man. Hey, that's Joseph Phillips from the Chicago Crusader. We got to take a break. On the other side of the break, my guy who's joining me for the second leg of this three-legged race, Kenneth Davis, is going to join it, and we're going to welcome our guy David Kenyon because Big Ten football starts tonight, and I'm fired up about it. I can't wait. Does Lovey have a chance? I don't really think so. But you know what? Hope springs eternal. We're going to talk some college football with David Kenyon coming up next. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Big Ten football getting underway this weekend. Things starting tonight with Illinois visiting number 14, Wisconsin. Last year, the Illini squeaked out a 24-23 win. Kickoff tonight at 7 Central. Tomorrow, home kickoff for Northwestern against Maryland at 6:30. 2:30 Central, Iowa visits Purdue, while Indiana hosts number 8, Penn State. The Bears are set for Monday night's matchup. They're on the road visiting the Rams. It's a 7:15 Central kickoff. Chicago's won 2 in a row, 5-1 overall atop the NFC North. The 4-2 Rams battling in a competitive NFC West. This year's Gold Glove nominees have been unveiled. 5 players from the White Sox, including Yasmani Grandal, 7 from the Cubs, including Anthony Rizzo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with any type of lung cancer? Even if you've smoked, your lung cancer may be the result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. In many cases, companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and that it was significantly more dangerous for smokers but didn't protect their workers. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 for more information. Who do you call for the legal assistance you need? You call the law firm that has the experience, support staff, and resources to fight for asbestos victims diagnosed with mesothelioma and lung cancer, even smokers whose risk factor is 50 times that of non-smokers. With decades of combined experience, they are here to determine if and when you were exposed to asbestos and who should compensate you. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, call for more information and a free case review. You don't pay anything unless they win. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 today. Sponsored by SWMW Law.
Welcome back, folks, to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. I'm going to bring out my guy. He's taking the second leg of this three-legged race. He's from That Davis Show, guys. You can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Man, welcome back, my boy, my good friend, Kenneth Davis. Kenneth, what's up, Papa? What are you doing? How you doing? Ken.
What's going on, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm feeling well, to say the least. I haven't had a bad week. I haven't taken any L's. Our baseball team is gone, so I don't have to take that L. I'm coasting with my Bears right now. I can watch Red Zone all Sunday now. All right, so I can use it properly. So I'm good, man. I want to talk about this Big Ten and some college football, man. I want to know a few questions from David about what's going on. One, can Lovey succeed? But also, I want to know about Joe Milton in Michigan, and it's Harbaugh really on the hot seat, to say the least.
Hey, Ken, what's up? I want to know, is Lovey going to have the full salt and pepper?
Full salt and pepper?
It's going to be full salt and pepper?
Oh, it's all salt. Ain't no pepper in that joker.
Listen, but if he wants those kids to really succeed, he may need to let them see that chin, that little scar on his chin, so they didn't know it's real in the field out there. So you may not want to go full Santa beard with it. You may want to let them see, let Lovey see what they do down there in Texas. But listen, it's good. It's good to see what happened with Illinois last season, especially because I think here we all root for Lovey. And it kind of looked like him, especially being one of the highest paid people in the state as far as being in the state school. It was just good to see them actually turn around, because it seemed like in a year or so they were going to be on his way out. So I'm happy for Illinois. Being an Illinoisan, I always thought that school should play better than than how they played in the past. I mean, I can go back to the Simeon Rice, Hardy days, you know what I'm saying, like back in the day. So it's good to see, man. I'm looking forward to see if they can beat Wisconsin, even though I don't think they're going to beat Wisconsin.
Well, you know what? We're going to bring our guy on. We're going to ask him this question, guys. He is the national college football writer for Bleacher Report. He is a good friend of the program, and you can find him on Twitter at Kenyon19_BR. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, David Kenyon. David, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Big Ten football's back, right? Like, it can't be better.
I got the chills just thinking. I got the chills this morning thinking of football tonight. Big Ten football tonight. I know it's not SEC football. I know it's not ACC football. It's different football, but it's on par. It's on par in some years better than that.
I know you didn't say ACC. I know you didn't put ACC in here. SEC we respect. We don't respect ACC.
Dude, North Carolina got a bomb football program. What are you talking about?
Listen, when Clemson decides they want to play in the men's league, I know, right? When Clemson decides they want to play in the men's league, you let me know.
But you know what?
Sorry, David.
Big Ten football got me fired up, David. Let's talk about it. Man, game starts tonight. And your thoughts. First of all, did you think this was even going to happen? Remember, we didn't. I didn't think it was going to happen just because of COVID-19, despite the fact that the other three of the other Power 5 conferences that bumped that were playing, the Big 12, ACC, and SEC, and the Big 10, the Pac-12 said, nah, we're out. I thought that was in. And then you had the people in Nebraska wanting to go rogue and have their own schedule, and And then the parents like, let our kids play, let them play. Did you think that it would come to fruition like it is today?
Well, first I want to start off with Kenneth's point. I mean, look outside, us up by Chicago here. It's going to get down to 45 and rain. Yes, I don't know exactly what it is in Madison, but this is Big Ten football, baby. But yeah, no, I mean, I remember on that show, it was right after the Big Ten and Pac-12 had canceled, and you and I were talking. And I told you, like, look, I don't know a whole lot right now, but I do know if the Big 12 is done, we're done.
Yeah, there was a swing conference or the swing state, the swing conference. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, and so they stayed with it, obviously. And so, yeah, I mean, you and I were both pretty pessimistic about it. And even if something were to be played, we would have a lot of COVID interruptions. I will say it hasn't been to the level that we feared. I remember specifically talking like, what happens if Trevor Lawrence, something like that. And we haven't quite had that, but we've had like 20% of the games altered. Now, I know a little bit the hurricane factors into that too. That's a huge number. And the Big Ten, just as an overall view, they're trying to play 8 games in 8 weeks. And we have seen the improbability of that. So that is my concern for the season. But, we have plenty of time. We'll get to that when we get to that. Tonight, though, I know you guys are excited about Illinois. I think spread is about 3 touchdowns right now. I think that's pretty big for this Illinois team. That I think they can cover that pretty comfortably.
Is Jonathan Taylor still toting the rock for Wisconsin?
He is not.
What the hell, dude? 3 touchdowns. Jeez, Lord help me.
David, let me ask you this real quick. It's sticking with the COVID situation in the Big Ten, and you just mentioned that they're trying to get 8 games in 8 weeks. Have they even built in any extra time? Because like you mentioned, what you kind of implied, you never know when you're going to miss a week because offensive line, everybody in that group got COVID, or you got 20 players. Like you look at the NFL now and how they're talking about they're moving back to Super Bowl because some of these games have to be played later. Has Big Ten factored that into anything scheduling wise? I guess the question I'm trying to ask you.
It doesn't look like it, and it doesn't seem like they're going to have that flexibility as it is. Because if you just look, you can pull up any team's schedule. I got Illinois up here just in case we were going to, go deeper into that. You've got Friday, today, and then Saturdays to the 19th, and that's when the conference championship is. Mm-hmm. And you can't really push it back because then you've got the college football playoff. So unless they're pushing back the playoff, which I would be stunned if they do that. Unless they do that, I mean, the Big Ten is pretty stuck with the 19th. We're playing a championship game, and whether you've played 8 or 6, we're going to have to figure that out. But it kind of looks like that's where we're headed.
Okay.
So, according to the 4-letter network, it said the Big Ten will deem any football game canceled by COVID-19 a no contest. So, meaning there will be no winner, no loser. And my question to you then is, how's that going to affect the standings? Because what is Ohio State, number 4, 5, somewhere in the standings, 4 or 5, and they haven't played a game yet. So, and how is that going to affect? What if you get an SEC team that has 2 losses, and Ohio State is perfect at 6-0 or 8-0, and you're like, wait a minute, we're 11-2 and or 10-2, and you're 8-0. Why are you ahead of us? How much confusion is that going to cause later down the road?
Yeah, I will say with Ohio State, I think we can kind of call them the exception because they are ranked so high right now. If they keep winning, they're in. I think that's pretty clear. And I think Penn State probably in that category because they would have beaten Ohio State. But let's talk Wisconsin. Let's talk Michigan, Minnesota, who are farther down in the polls. And let's say they had a game canceled too. And they're 7-0, and then they win the Big Ten, so they get to 8-0. And then you've got Georgia. Let's just say they play the SEC championship. They lose to Alabama by 3, right? They've beaten everybody else. They beat Florida, and they go back, and they have a better showing. And it's like, hey, we can compete with Alabama. We have proven this now. And then let's just, sake of argument, Notre Dame beats Clemson, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. at least possible in the argument, in the conversation. And then Wisconsin's 8-0. Michigan's 8-0. What do you do? I don't know. Like, I would love to tell you that I have the answer, but we've never been here before. And it's such a subjective conversation as it is in a normal 14-game season, 13-game season, whatever it ends up being. I don't know. And I'd kind of like to see it happen just because I am a card-carrying member of Team Chaos. But yeah, it's a really good question, and I don't know the answer.
So obviously you're obviously against Maxwell Smart then if you're in Chaos.
Real quick. You know what though? When you're saying that, and what brings me comfort is that you have a committee instead of it going to a computer. Because as you mentioned, being subjective, at least through a committee, we can get what we want. Because they know, all right, yeah, this team only plays 7 games, but yeah, we want to see Ohio State in the playoffs. And I know you said they're already ranked up there so high, but thank goodness there's a committee so we can fix the system basically when it gets to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Compared to putting it into a computer and going through data and basically being like, there's no way that the team that's number 7 can jump up to get to number 6 and to number 4. So I kind of like that, even though some people may not find it fair. But look, I want to get back to tonight's game as far as Illinois, and you mentioned that that the spread was 3 games. So you have the schedule in front of you. As of right now, how many wins and losses do you see Lovey's team getting this season?
So I think one of the interesting questions is right away next week with Purdue, because, Jeff Brom is out this week. He did say that several players will be out. He hasn't announced the names, understandably. I get that. But so I think that's a big question that is going to, show over the whole season. As I look at, the trip to Nebraska at the end of November, I'm like, okay, I think they could probably compete in that game, if not win. But we're also under the understanding that it's not just injuries this year that might keep players out. So I will say, just preface it with that, and I think we all get it as the thunder starts rolling outside from the Midwest. I think looking at it right now, obviously you got Rutgers. If they lose to Rutgers, fire Lovey right there. But I'm kidding. But so you got Rutgers on there. You got Northwestern. I think they should beat Northwestern. The offense, it's been so bad lately. And so I think probably Purdue too. I think you catch them at a decent time. I think those are your 3 wins. But then Wisconsin tonight, look, I think they cover, but no, I don't think they'll beat Wisconsin. Again, I think Wisconsin, it's a little much to call it a revenge game, but I don't think it happens 2 years in a row. Ohio State, I think we can all agree that's a loss. Minnesota at home is really interesting, but I do think Illinois not having as much of a defensive line presence right away, I think that's going to be a problem against a very, very good Minnesota offense. So I'll tell you 4 with 3 confidently.
Okay, hey guys,
we're joined by Iowa in there too.
Thank God Maya's not on there. Hey guys, we're joined by David Kenyon. He's a national college football writer for Bleacher Report. Talking a little college football, Big Ten college football, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Yeah, so how much leeway now does Lovey have? Lovey seems like he's got this thing turned around. Now they're not good yet, but they've made some noise. They had a decent record last year, and it really opened the eyes. And it how much time did he buy himself? Because for the first couple of years, you're like, wow, Lovey's really sticking up the joint big time. And then after last season, people was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. He's finally getting his guys in, and his guys are finally playing, because you can't just throw all freshmen out there. It's not basketball. You can't throw freshmen out there and compete against the Michigan, Ohio State, and the Penn State. Now his guys are starting to play, and his guys are starting to be pretty darn good. How much time has he bought for his seat before his seat gets hot again? And do you think that he actually has a chance to win a Big Ten title in his tenure?
I think the end of last season, which obviously was sparked by that Wisconsin win, because we had this conversation earlier last year too, that it was like, look, if he doesn't start winning, we're going to have a very serious talk at the end of the year. And then he started winning. So I think personally,
he listened to us.
Go ahead.
No, I said I think he listened to us.
Yeah, I agree. You get my text updates on Twitter now, I think. Yeah, so I think he bought himself this year for sure, and nothing happens in a vacuum. I mean, look, we're in a pandemic. Revenue's going down. Illinois has, very much said, whether it's public or not, that it's a little tighter with the athletic department. And so I think very, very confidently, like, look, this is what he showed you this last year, and then this is what's happening this year. I can't imagine they make a change short of them going like 0-8. But I think so next year, he's getting a little bit better recruiting in. He's redshirted some top prospects. He can still be like, look, we're increasing the talent level. They've done really well with transfers. I think confidently he gets into 2021, and we'll see what the schedule looks like that next year. Hopefully we're back to what we know of college football, and then we go from there. But I think he's very safe through this year.
Okay. David, let me ask you this, talking about hot seats. I want to go to Michigan. Because I like to talk about their ego. All right. You got Harbaugh, who I can understand him being on the hot seat, but the question is, who the hell do you think you're going to get to fix this? Because you're Michigan. This isn't the 70s. All right. Bo's not coming off there. All right. Like you guys are stuck the way you are as far as with your academics, with your excellence, but you're not going to get in every player, and you're just not Ohio State. So one, is Harbaugh truly on the hot seat as far as they would get rid of him? Because I don't see a better replacement. Perhaps there is a better replacement. But also, and two, tell me a little bit about Joe Milton, because I'm always intrigued by big, black, strong-arm quarterbacks.
Well, first of all, I think maybe our names just aren't the only similar things, because I have literally said that exact same thing on this show. They're like, look, I know Harbaugh has not done as well as you want him to do, Michigan fans, but yeah, where are you going? Like, you're winning 8, 9, 10, and even that 8 seemed like an outlier. You're winning 10 games a year. So you're here, and the gap from here to here is so difficult. It's so much harder to go from where Lovey is to where Michigan is than Michigan to Ohio State, even though it's just a couple win jump. I mean, that's why Clemson and Alabama are so good, is because they can sustain that. It's incredible. Look at LSU. It's a matter of the coaching staff and the right players and getting a couple lucky breaks or making your own luck. Whatever you want, you get those couple wins, and that's where Michigan has fallen short. Now, is it a coaching problem? I think to some degree you can say yes, because they continually lose big road games. But what, you want to bring in Brady Hoke again? Like, obviously you're not going to bring him, but like that's what you're risking.
I was going to say Rich Rod, just like you said, Rich Rod's coming back. You need a Michigan man to like, oh man. But
so,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you're running that risk. You're winning 10, so you're there-ish. Mm-hmm. But if you make a change, you might go down to 5, and you're not getting 5 with him.
So Joe Milton is a junior, and they have one of the top quarterbacks in the country who's down at IMG now. He went to NAS here in the Chicagoland area, JJ McCarthy. And he most likely went, I believe he went to NAS so he can transfer in the spring, which is good for them now that they're having fall football and they'll have spring training or spring football. How soon before you think JJ McCarthy takes over? Is because Joe Milton's going to be the guy, don't you think? Is Joe Milton gone after this year? If he has a really good year, do you think he stays another year? Because I know that JJ McCarthy is that's the prize recruit of Harbaugh. I mean, he's been on this kid since he was 3 or 4 weeks old, something like that. I don't know. And he got him. Give me your thoughts on that situation.
Yeah, so I think Joe Milton, with not having the summer practices, I think that really helped him really lock down the job, because he beat out Dylan McCaffrey. And look, I'll be the first one to tell you, I thought McCaffrey was the future for Michigan. I thought he was excellent in the time that he had played as a backup to Shea Patterson. I thought this was McCaffrey's job, and then he opted out and is transferring because Milton beat him out. So I don't know a whole lot about Milton. I mean, I wanted to pull up his stats just to make sure I had the exact number for you. He's thrown 11 passes in his college career. So I know good things about Joe Milton. I liked him coming out of high school, but I also thought McCaffrey was here and Milton was here, and clearly I was wrong about that. So I'm very interested to see what happens tonight. He's not a classic dual threat. Honestly, it's the stereotypical thing where he's black, right? He's more of a passer. And so I'm very interested to see how he does that. And he's certainly not a statue. I know that. And so I'm really interested to see how he plays against Minnesota, because Minnesota's really reloading that defense. That this is a good opportunity for Milton to come out and play really well right away.
A team that I really like, and not just because they have the same color scheme as my college, but I'm a big fan of Northwestern. I met Fitz quite a few times when I was coaching. He'd come to Curie to recruit a big defensive end of ours who came out the same year as Jadavian Clowney. Our kid ended up going to Wisconsin, and then the following year he was recruiting our quarterback /cornerback Maurice Fleming, who ended up going to Iowa and then went for his 5th year to West Virginia. I like Northwestern. How is there? And then now they have the brand new, the number 1 facility in college football, and that's a big statement when you talk about Texas and Alabama and Florida and Georgia and all the teams in the South. But they actually have the number 1, the newest and the best college football facility. How soon before they are relevant again? Because I really like them. Or are they just going to be, we're just an academic school every once in a while, blip on the radar, we'll go to the Rose Bowl, or, maybe we'll get into a New Year's Day Bowl. What's the chances of Northwestern? Because I really like Fitz, what he does for those kids, and I just want to see him do well. I want to see the program do well.
Yeah, I think over the last few years, I soured on that potential a lot because Northwestern's offense has been so bad, and he never made a change. For 5 years, their defense was hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, hoping for this offense to do anything. And then he finally made the changes this offseason. He brought in new coordinators, brought in the OC from Boston College, who did a really nice job last year. So I am a little more optimistic about the future of Northwestern. I think it's a nice story when they're good. I don't know that they can ever be consistently great, but I don't see why they couldn't be competitive, every other year kind of thing when you look over a 10-year period, that they have 5 years of competitiveness, because Fitzgerald's a great coach. Like, you talk about who gets the most out of players who are under-recruited or just need to be developed. You're obviously talking Wisconsin at the top of the list, but then Northwestern's right there.
So they got a stud quarterback in Hunter Johnson. That dude transferred. He was, I don't know if he was the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school, but he was in the top 3.
I think he was number 2, yeah.
And then he ended up going to Clemson, and then transferred from, and that was because that was the prize recruit 2 years ago when he transferred. That was a prize recruit for in Fitz's cap was Hunter Johnson, and now they got the guy. They got their top blue chip quarterback. Can they do it?
Yeah, and I think Indiana transfer Peyton Ramsey will end up being the guy this year. Because Johnson, man, it's another one. I was wrong about that. And I thought he was going to be, the future of Clemson, and then this whole Trevor Lawrence thing happened, and I was like, oh yeah, forget that. But so Johnson comes up here, and I was pumped, and I was like, Northwestern finally got its quarterback right, and then it was just so bad. But Ramsey comes in, he did a really nice job. But Indiana had their freshman last year who came in, took the job. So I'm like I said, I'm optimistic about Northwestern's future. I think it's a little tough because you're still looking for the explosive skill position guy right now, and I don't think they have it. But it is the Big Ten West, so you catch Wisconsin at the right moment, you hold off Iowa, and you're in it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
Look, David, I want to stick with Northwestern because you brought up something, and I was going to ask you a question about Fitz. A few years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, was a chance people mentioned that maybe he'd go to Notre Dame or maybe he'd even go to the pros. And I was wondering, had people soured on him as getting those kind of prospects as going to those big jobs? But you just mentioned that he gets the most out of his players against Wisconsin. So around the college football, how do people view him? And if he did leave Northwestern, would he still get like a blue chip job if he left in the future?
Yeah, he's really respected around college football for sure. I think the bigger question when you're looking at jobs, if he wanted a bigger job, I think he would have taken it by now because he's had those good runs at Northwestern. And if he viewed it as a stepping stone, which ultimately it very much could be, it's not a traditional Big Ten contender. So if he wanted a bigger job, he probably would have by now. I mean, he's a Northwestern kid, right? So he might just think, I want to be here and I want to make my alma mater the best program possible. And that's admirable and that's great. NFL, it kind of seems like the next best step for him because clearly he showed he doesn't really care about the rest of the college jobs. I compare him to Matt Rule. He was at Baylor and he did a great job at Temple. He went to Baylor, turned that program into something respectable again, and then he's off to the NFL. And I mean, he's the same kind of guy, developer of talent and character, that, the buzzwords, and then he went off to the NFL. And I feel like that would be a next step for Fitzgerald, but I honestly think he's really content. And as long as he's getting 7-8 wins, at least every other year, I don't think Northwestern's are going to run him off either.
Shawn, you're on mute.
I see Fitz as a Northwestern lifer. I just do. I just think he's happy in that situation. Like you talked about, every so often he'll have a good team and get to a New Year's Day bowl, or maybe one year even make it into the college playoff and then come back down. I just think that he's happy there. I think that the university is happy there. I think, and this may sound bad, but I think they're happy being. I don't want to say. They're happy being where they're at, and I'm trying to think of a good word because I don't want to say this other word that I have. They're
competent.
Yeah, sometimes they're a little more than competent, but yeah, they're happy there. They're not the powerhouse. They're not a football powerhouse. Okay, they're more known for their journalism school than they are their football. But I just think they're in a good space, right there, and. But then again, they go build a $17 trillion new football facility. So, what do I know? So it's just, I don't know. I just like the university. I think I like the combination of good, smart kids with combine them with good football players. Get those kids because they can win too. So we'll see. But I don't know. I hope he has a good season this year. And like I said, I like him personally as a guy. I like the coaching staff. Like I said, they're all in the office, for 2 years straight with one kid, and then looking after another kid. So I just wanted your thought on that. That's all. So, hey, great stuff, David. I appreciate it. And we want to thank you so much for coming on. But do me a favor, though, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Kenyon19_BR. And then all my work is on Bleacher Report. You can just go there and throw it in the search. You'll find me. Otherwise, Google works great.
Excellent. Let's go Lovey, baby. Let's go Lovey.
I will say we didn't mention it. Graham Mertz gets his first start tonight for Wisconsin. As we're talking about quarterbacks, Wisconsin's never really had that high recruit either. Graham Mertz was, I think, top 3 or top 4 pro style in his class a couple years ago. So I'm really excited about that too.
Oh, are they going to sit back and sling the ball all over the field?
Oh, man, no, you just ruined it now.
It's the air raid offense in Wisconsin?
No, it'll be normal Wisconsin, but, like Russell Wilson, he made him like that kind of team. And if you've got anybody close to what Russ was in college, I think, Wisconsin, that's the level up kind of thing we're talking about with Michigan and Ohio State too.
Good. That's a great point. Great point. Hey, David, thanks a lot, Papa. We'll be in touch soon.
All right, you got it. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, now. That was David Kenyon. And, I didn't think about that, joking around, but he, if you do what Russell did at Wisconsin, ooh.
I like how David saved that for the end before. It's like, you're baiting me in to watch this game. I'm like, yeah, Illinois is going to look good against Wisconsin. It's like, oh, yeah, by the way, they got this
quarterback.
I'm not going to mention any names and compare him to anybody like Russell Wilson. But yeah, I mean, it should be fun for Illinois. But I wanted to talk about what you were talking about with Northwestern, Shawn. like the word is complacent. They don't care. They don't care if they win 10 games. They don't in Evanston. They're happy that they have the team. They're happy that they get their college, their small college town feel. They're happy that they get the games. They get some teams in there, and that's it. They call it a wash. They really don't want to be flooded with consistent in that small area in Evanston. They don't want to be flooded consistently with stuff. You know what I'm saying? What comes with being a champion? It'll be more. So I think the neighbors, like the people that live in the surrounding area, they're happy with their small little team.
You know, I would disagree with you because you don't build a $1 billion football facility and being happy. Mediocre is what I want to say.
Chill out. We built it, man. Just relax.
Yeah.
I'm just like hearing some people up there, like Northwestern fans, and talking to some of the people, because my girl works up there.
I can tell you've been talking to the residents because
they don't like that shit. They don't want that shit. They don't want that. They will never touch it. What?
So you're only worried about the traffic. Man, the traffic is gonna be crazy if they start winning.
Dude, there is no traffic. They got one street. They got one street, bro.
Listen, I do think that I think they want to win on their own terms. As far as they want to cheat to win and really skirt the academics, like some other schools that, quote unquote, hold their academics to a certain standard. I don't think they want to cheat to win. I think they would love to be Stanford. You know what I'm saying? I do. They would love a school in that vein. But again, I don't think they want. And it's compounded by the fact that, I mean, in our lifetime, outside of when Fitz actually played for the team,
96.
Yeah, before his brief stint with the Cowboys. That outside of that, in our lifetime, they haven't really been anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not the Charleston Heston years when we're sitting here talking, football. So you don't have a history so to bring kids in or past history. Let's just say like they were hot in the 70s and people kind of, so you don't even have the history. So even in the Big Ten, your own Big Ten, and then it's compounded by there's other schools similar to you, or really another school similar to you in Michigan here. Because if you tell me, all right, I can go to Northwestern or I can go Big Blue, and just say academic wise, I want that degree out of those two schools, even though I hold Northwestern higher academically, but just to know how serious they take football in Ann Arbor, man, I want to go there and be the big man on campus. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are the things that really hinder Northwestern from really taking that step. And I commend them for not selling. And I'm like you, Shawn. I really like. Actually, Northwestern is my favorite Big Ten team, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you can say I like Ohio State because of all the talent, but out of Illinois and Northwestern, I've always leaned towards Northwestern because I've kind of wanted to go to Northwestern just for academics, and it's right here. And I always felt like U of I didn't really embrace Chicago enough in a way that just the same way like the Blackhawks was like, oh, you don't want me there?
Yeah.
Right? Like, forget you.
Bump you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm with you. I wish Northwestern could be perennially a 9-win team. And that would mean that they would occasionally, some of those years, they would bump up and really be in big-time bowl games. It would be nice to actually see that happen, but I don't think they want to cheat enough to get it done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I commend them for that, but I don't think they want to cheat like that.
It just seems like, dude. I was just looked it up. $270 million for that facility, and it's the number one facility in college football, and you're right on the lake. You talk about drawing. I think you're right when you said I think you're spot on when you said they want to win their own way, and they want to say, hey, listen, we're going to get the people, because there's a good class of people, a good class of football players that are phenomenal students. Okay, coming out of high school, there's a really good class, and I think it's growing more now than it was back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. A lot more of these kids are 3.5, 4.3 on a 4.0 scale type students. You know what I mean? Who happen to be just phenomenal football players, and I think that's their niche market. Okay, I still think and maybe they do, and they just keep it on a DL. They still need to get some of them dogs in there. You know what I mean? They need to get that kid from Florida, that kid from Texas, that kid from California, that kid from Ohio.
Positions.
at the skill position, you know, who might be a tad under the academic requirements.
Just a bit, who needs a little tutoring.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because you get those players. Those are the players that'll change your program, man. You know, those are the players that'll change your program. And you know, I hope they do it. I do. I just because I like Fitz. I just all the years of talking with him, and you know, his dad's a Rita guy, so you know that we got a big connection there. When I spoke with him, I was like, holy cow! So yeah, I hope they do it, and that would be cool because it was cool when they went in '96. I believe it was to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson kicked their ass. Can you imagine Donnell Autry handing out $1,000 like OBJ? They win it all. Go, right? Like, dude, talking about Dwayne Bates. Just thinking about like those like, dude, and that's crazy when you break how huge they were here. I was in high school.
Yeah.
How huge they went at the beginning of that year, because the game when they beat ND was when it was like, oh, it's for real.
For real.
It's for right. And I was actually watching something 2 or 3 weeks ago about the reporters from Northwestern that were in they were sitting there reporting for the game, and they were at ND, and how quiet it got there when it looked like they were going to actually win it, and they ran the clock out or whatever. But yeah, dude, that team was so huge. And if you think, and it kind of goes with what Ivan is saying, dude, if they blew up major, you know we going up there.
I'm going up there. Like I'm like I don't. And you're right. I am talking to residents, but like I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, these people are right, but like, where the hell are you gonna fit everything? Like to build this, that's the first step. To get the skill positions, that's the next step. That's a whole different story, because what we see Northwestern, Shawn, we talked about it the other day. It's like Fitz could recruit defense. He can recruit players that fly under the radar that could be good defensively, especially on that line. But the offensive side, that skill position, it's just been lacking. The focus is on defense because they're going to be a defensive team, because they're going to grind everything out and they're going to keep every game close. Are you going to keep every game close for your entire tenure, Fitz? Is every game going to be a defensive battle, where you can't score and the other team can't score, but the other team's offense is going to score a little more than you because you don't have the skill position? To me, that is going to scare people away, even with the facility, even with whatever the hell you built. You have to put players on the field that are going to make the plays. And I love Northwest. I like Fitz. You got to put the talent out there. That's point blank period. The players win the games. The players win the games for you.
One word: boosters. They got too much money up there for them not to be paying off some of these kids, man. No question.
How do you think they built that $270 million facility?
Yeah, definitely. Donations from alumni. Dude, I'm telling all Northwestern alum, y'all need to start boosting. You deserve a championship. People that graduate from a deal, as Shawn was saying, as far as the writing is more important. Listen, you make too much money, all right, actors and whoever else. Come on, man, pay some of these kids. All right, I'm telling you, if it was me and it was my school and I was rich, oh man, of course I'm paying some of these kids off.
I can see that. You just Scrooge McDuck in it. Here you go. Here you go.
What's your Cash App? Right? Listen, think about the way you have to give you a $100 handshake. Hold on, let me see. There you go. All right, like, dude, I'm just saying for me, because we know the truth. Like, we know the truth. Exactly. We don't have to sit here and be fake about the teams that are consistently winning. I'm a big-time Alabama guy. Would I be shocked to find out that they're cheating? Not really.
No.
Like, I wouldn't, because
I'd be shocked it took us this long for it to come out.
Right? When you're in this pressure-packed situation and winning is everything, right? And even, the crazy thing about college football, out of all sports, compared maybe just NCAA basketball, but out of all sports, it's the hardest one basically to win out in the end, unless you play in the ACC all your games and you don't to the SEC like a real man, Trevor Lawrence and that. That's Dabo Sweeney. Yeah, I said it. I can't stand that. Right. But look,
You know, you do know it's not Dabo Sweeney's fault that he's in the ACC, right?
Yeah.
It's not his fault. He didn't choose that.
Listen, he's still a punk ass. I'm not even playing when it comes to Dabo.
Yeah, I hear you.
Furniture would be moving. Listen, me and him have a short conversation, the furniture would start moving all around the house. That's how I feel about Dabo Sweeney. All right?
Like, first of all, your name's Dabo.
Yeah. And the worst part is I'm a Tide guy, right? Family. Yeah. My dad used to tell me stories about Bear Bryant. One day, this bastard's going to be coaching at the team that I love. One day it's going to happen. It's even in his contract, basically, that he had to pay so much money if he goes back to Alabama. One day he's going to go back to Alabama. And guess what? I'm going to not like Alabama football at that point, moving to that future. But the point I make is this. When you're talking about Clemson, you're talking about think about how long, man, we've been sitting there since Miles was the coach at LSU, and they be like, man, when LSU gonna come back and do it again? Man, you know LSU just didn't the offensive lineman's father just come out? That offensive lineman's father got like $180,000 job to come to LSU, and his father didn't even show up for the job. Like, and that's what we saw.
Blue show up for the job.
Do what you do.
He got paid. He got the showed up. He didn't just show up to do the work, but that's what happened. So, unfortunately, this is what you're in. I like the fact that Northwestern tries to play it clean, but we the big boys with the big pants on. Look, dude, sometimes you got to cheat. I'm sorry. Listen, AJ Hitch is my manager. That's the life that I'm living right now. All right. I got real life issues, and that stuff ain't nothing.
You know the old saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You're not trying. You're not trying. Yeah, dude. And listen,
I'm okay with that, dude. You know what? I really am okay with it. And here's my thing: if you don't put a cap on it, okay, if you don't put a cap on the amount of earnings that college players can receive now that they can have their likeness, okay, I'm Northwestern. Like, hey, homie, I got 2.5. Ready for you. I got this car dealership here. I got a McDonald's up here. I got a United Airlines over here flying in and out of O'Hare. We got you, Papa. We got you.
Listen, you can go back to Florida, Texas, Alabama. Anytime you want to. O'Hare is right there, kiddo. You don't even have to worry about it. You come up here. Listen, the whole family can be
10 buddy passes a year.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. Let me running that institution up there. Ben got fired because dude. Listen. That's you can't bring a knife to a gunfight. That's just. No. Matter. You can let's do. Would we prefer that? Would we prefer to all just have knives and basically it's off of sheer strength? Yeah, and guile. Yeah, but other fools got pistols and bombs. So guess what? I'm strapping up. That ain't raise no fool.
Yeah,
that you know what? That would literally be a miracle. I would love for that to happen because, like I said, there's so many successful people out of Northwestern who have been. All you need to do is advertise. Okay, use these guys. Like I said, and I was kidding about 2.5, but there's no reason guys can't make $50, $80, $100,000. You know, at that particular point, you know, here's $20,000 for doing a spot on this commercial. You know, this car dealership was here in Evanston, or you know, all the people you have here in Chicago now who are working. Okay, boom, have their company. Okay, now you're sponsoring their company, and you know you got to have somebody at Pepsi or Coke or Gatorade's part of Pepsi, but you know, somewhere and have them be a spokesperson for them. There's a whole bunch of things like your top prospects. We got $500,000. Okay, $500,000 in contracts and endorsements for you if you come here.
And our degree means more than most of these other schools.
Bingo. It carries a lot of weight.
It's the crazy thing how things start tumbling when you start winning like that. Dog, think about if we were walking around here wearing Northwestern jerseys. Think about how much more money that brings into it for more facilities and stuff. If we're just rocking the gear, all right. Like if you own Chicago, you could own
Chicago.
Right. And listen, the crazy thing is you could start by owning Chicago. If you're really good, you could take the state. Basically, nobody here. Lovey was winning a little bit last year. You could own it. You could own it all if you really wanted to just grab the apple. You know, grab it and bite it is what I'm trying to say.
You got to pull by the horns.
You know how much pride you would have to say as you talked about coming out with a Northwestern degree, because that carries a hell of a lot of weight. And And that's no disrespect to U of I and other places, other Big Ten schools, but the perception and the weight that a Northwestern degree carries. Oh, you graduated from Northwestern. Oh, smarty pants. You get those comments, and that's for a reason, because their their curriculum is pretty rigorous, and they have a history of it. So not only do you now you're getting money under not money under the table, you get endorsements, but now you're getting, you come out with $500,000 a year, okay, or maybe for 2 years, because you're probably not gonna get that till you're a junior, okay, unless or a sophomore, depending on the how many stars you are, and then you get this degree as well. So now you're making bank, and you're making money, and you got this crazy degree. I think it's a match made in heaven, and I think Stanford was the best comparison that you could have given, Kenneth. That was the best one, because you can get those kids, you can get those stud athletes who are academics, but who just who are like, instead of after lifting I have to go to a Shakespeare reading after you get done Hankley in 355, like, oh, Romeo, you're like, okay, you can do that. I just rip that quarterback's head off on Saturday. Okay, thank you.
I just don't know how they're going to get the players like a Stanford, just because Stanford. Think of the geographically where they're located. California is going. You got way more of a talent pool to pick from, and they're playing all year round. So and they're playing all year round. That's huge. You know what I'm saying? If we lived in a different area where we were able to play all year round, I mean, there's no doubt that you would be a better athlete. First of all, you'd be a better athlete because you'd be able to you'd be training all the time. Mm-hmm. Two, you would just be like your stamina, your will, like everything, like you're able to do more. So you just have more freedom kind of there as a player, because you have everything. There's a space. You don't have to go far out. Everything's kind of like right on top, like what I'm saying, like right there within the confines of your township or what have you. But in Illinois, it's kind of hard. Like you have to shut down.
You don't have to shut down, dude. There's so many places now. There's the Max over in McCook. There's a spot. There's actually they're building a new one now in Bedford Park. Because
how many of the Chicago Public League teams are going to get to Bedford Park to train in the winter?
Kids, like a lot of kids. Like I
don't know.
Dude, it's still not the same as you could go out in your own backyard and just get into work. I'll say this though. To get to the point, Ivan, I won't even go that far. And sometimes I know we hate to do this because we love our city. That's California. Like I know I have family members that have and went to Stanford. Dude, that's stuff, or even USC. It's the attraction alone is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like just to say, do you want to go to live in Chicago during the wintertime and you're an age kid, or do you want to go to sunny California where you can enjoy yourself 24/7? Like it's more appealing to go there. So that alone is a difference. I mean, listen, if it wasn't burning, I was planning on going to actually California after college. You know what I'm saying? But I had to take care of my grandma and my great aunt. But if it wasn't burning, I still would want to go there. But the fires have made me say, I think I need to let it go, to be honest with you. I'm not even joking. It was like, all right, that's a dream that maybe I'm not going to be able to bring to fruition. But I think a lot of it has to do with location, to why you wouldn't necessarily be Stanford. But you could still be Michigan. I mean, you don't have the history of Michigan, but you could still go after being a school like that and try to supplant that school. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be my motivation, actually, to be the smart school in the Big Ten that's actually winning also consistently. You know what I'm saying? And that, again, can happen, but you may have to, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If you want, whoever from Florida to come out there and pop the goals out real quick and go catch these balls, man, you got to break a couple rules or two. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the truth. And I mean, and again, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would frown upon what we're saying and say, I like the way that they're doing it because it shows integrity. There's nothing wrong with that. I can understand that. But again, it would be nice to actually see them win. My last point is this. I used to be really against steroids in baseball. I was against it. I wasn't a person that was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, I don't care. But as time went on, I realized that without steroids, I would have never seen Barry Bonds play baseball like a video game player. And it was and they weren't, listen, no one will ever know if you tell them what happened when Barry Bonds broke the home run record and you try to describe the fact that they weren't pitching to him and he broke the home run record. All right, like dude, they would walk in a run at times to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're throwing at him. No, he's not getting balls in the strike zone, and he broke the home run record. All right, so it took time for me to look at that, and there's some appreciation. Do I think it was good? No, but I know in my lifetime that I saw something that was crazy. It was miraculous to a certain extent, and I was in early. They were taking steroids back when me and my father was having this discussion. When they found that Andro in McGuire's locker, Pops, he's roaring up. I was like, why does he have a masking agent right there in his locker? Like, stop playing, right? Like, no. And
I didn't know it was a steroid enhancement. I didn't know. Shut your ass up, dude.
Right.
They all knew. Everybody knew.
Here's the thing. When you get to that level, college, no. Well, I mean, I guess it would have to filter into college and filter down into high school. Because I'm like, when you talk about, like, I really wouldn't care if those guys got roided up and got super big, fast, and strong. Okay, again, sign the contracts, because I'll tell you what, you bring that violence back to the NFL, okay, how much more would people love the NFL? People still love the NFL now. It's still the number one sport in the country.
I'm talking about bringing that violence to Northwestern.
No. What I'm saying is you bring that violence back, and then it would start down in college. Like I wouldn't mind them. So maybe not steroids, but give them some hormones or something. And you know what? You sign a waiver. Like, you know what? You understand that this can be detrimental to your health. Your kid, your nuts will shrink, and your kidneys that get jacked up. Okay, you might be sterile, but
we went off the rails on this one.
But you know what? But you might not.
Wait. Let's
just
walk this back real quick. I love it. Sounds like I want to go back in the NFL. Used to have those videos of when people used to get hit and smashed and crashed. Right now, we already know with CTE and how back this is going. But you're like, no, forget that. Let's crank it up some more. I love it. And again, listen. I get it because you have an affinity for it because you played through it. You know what I'm saying? This is like, I saw Bart Scott on Get Up this morning. He's like, this is a man's sport. And you sometimes you forget that. And he's just like, he was talking about injuring somebody and being like, if somebody's got some ribs that are messed up, I'm coming to hit those ribs. And I get it. And I get that, you know what I'm saying? I've been there. But yeah, I'm good with how the NFL is right now. I don't, especially the college kids. You said you want the college kids cracking themselves up too.
and here you have a Northwestern education with a couple
I got the degree and I don't even know who I am. Oh man.
And that's where the connections come in, because now you don't need to know who you are when you're checking someone in as a security guard and getting $37 an hour as an unarmed security guard. You're like, okay, with overtime, you're like, okay, now you're making a decent living.
This is a great way to start my weekends, to say that. I always appreciate it.
I'm telling you, there's just certain things that need to go back to the way they were, and violence and carnage in football is one of them. And again, I'm telling you, how awesome would it be? Okay, when the only bad part for baseball is like if it comes a comeback or at a pitcher, then like, damn, all right, then you're jacking up.
His melon bust. Yeah, that'd be the bad part.
Then we're like, okay, maybe let's dial it back. Let's dial it back.
It seems like a knob, like they got the knob. Turn it down.
Let's take it off of 11 and put it back down to 6.
I was just going to say to 11. It's 11. I thought it only went to 10. No, it's because 11. Like, oh my goodness. Oh man, this is so much.
Hey, let's bring
this is so much.
Let's bring this guy on. He is he's going to be running the anchor leg on the show from 11 to 12. He is the host of one of the hottest shows right here on SportsZone Chicago. It's called What's Up, Cuz, with his cousin Lance C. Irvin, who is the men's head basketball coach over at Chicago State University. And you can find him on Twitter at JCoyden. That's JAYCOYDEN. Guys, let's bring him on. Jason Palmer. Jason, what's up, brother? How are you?
Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
Good.
Man, it's raining and raining and raining and raining and raining up here in Wisconsin, man. Y'all had a good day yesterday. It was not like that up here yesterday, and it is not looking good. But at least we're not Minnesota, who has 8 inches of snow.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'll take the rain.
Hey, you know what? I tell that rainstorm, that front, just keep going east. Okay, you gotta come south, just keep going east. You don't need to come southeast. Just go east. Just good. We're good.
Yeah.
Go back. You can even go north if you want. So we were talking, and they're laughing at me because I said I want people, like, I want football to be as violent as it was before.
I do too.
Okay.
I'm with you 100%.
And we were talking about Northwestern and having them, about paying players, or not necessarily paying, but getting them endorsement deals.
Mm-hmm.
We got a top-rated quarterback. We can get you $500,000 with the car dealership, with the Burger King up here, with United Airlines, whatever. And I want the violence because, first of all, America loves it. See, the pussification of America now is like, oh my God, he hit him in the head too hard, and Kenneth mentioned CTE, and I get it, but you have to understand, this is generational wealth if you're in the NFL. Okay,
wait, but this is what he's not telling you before I get out of here. He was talking about giving the high school kids steroids.
No. I said it was into the high school.
So this is totally different. So have clarity on what he was talking about. He was talking about having these kids sign waivers, going
not high school kids. No, not high school kids.
Well,
no.
Here's my thing.
Kids,
I don't even think they need any performance enhancing drugs to put the football back in football. I agree with Shawn. I have all these friends who are referees, and they end up getting the brunt of the rule changes that the people who run the game make, and then they're trying to enforce the rules, and the rules are crazy. Like I said when I came on Monday, I did not like the officiating in last week's Bears game. I thought it was not good. For this time of the season, I thought that crew did not do a good job. And, the pass interference calls were one thing, but the problem that I had was the call they made that went in favor of the Bears. They called roughing the passer.
Yeah.
And I was like, he tackled him. What did he do? He didn't tackle him by the knees. He didn't tackle him near the head. He tackled the man.
I'll take it though, but you're right.
Right, I just
put all this weight on the quarterback.
Right, it's gotten ridiculous. I think that is one part of the game that I can't stand. The other part is when you hit the receivers, they call them a defenseless receiver. Well, if you just try to reach for the ball in general, you're gonna be defenseless. The defender is supposed to be there to break up the play. If that means he's gonna pop you like Gary Fensick back in the day, then so be.
Jack Tatum. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait. We have no problem with that. This is why, that's fine. I'm especially as far as I don't know. It's really the collarbone situations with the quarterback where they don't want you to put your weight on them. I'm with you. I don't think quarterbacks need to be as protected as they have been protected. That's not the thing. And even with the defensive receivers, even though. See, I understand it, but I feel like going along with what you're saying, it's too hard to call because basically receivers have always been defenseless. And you get to the situation with Fuller this past game where it looked like he hit him with his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even care to a certain degree. And I play football. If your shoulder hits someone's head and that person was crumbling down, there's nothing I can do. I can't control how you're breaking down and trying to cover yourself up.
Brace yourself for that.
I agree.
I can't.
It's physics. It's simple physics. There's no way you can stop yourself in that fraction of a second and to prevent somebody from ducking their head down because they're trying to avoid the hit. And if you happen to hit them, oh well.
It's your natural reaction to get down too. But see, the thing was, and this is the real key to what Shawn was saying, the roids unlocked the animal. That's really what he was getting to. It's like jack him full of roids.
I'm okay with that. We're talking about baseball. How much more fun would baseball be when you got guys hitting bombs, 600 feet home runs? Like, what the hell was that?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, could you imagine though, roided out players with old school rules?
Right. They'll be killing each other.
I'm talking about like just Aaron Donald back in the 70s. Right. Aaron Donald back in the 60s, just running around, being able to grab somebody by the face mask and rip them down.
Do stuff like Lala Zato. That's what he wants, right?
Well,
and athletes now, he wants them to be juiced up.
Well, and then too, when you think about too, if you start allowing roids in sports, let's go to a sport that's not non-contact. Let's go to track and field. Remember what Ben Johnson from Canada was doing when he was running 100 meters? And he was 6 seconds. Right. He was smoking everybody. And Carl Lewis kept telling everybody, man, this dude is on something. He's like, I'm the fastest dude in this world. I'm getting smoked. And you could see it in Ben Johnson's eyes. His eyes were yellow.
Yeah,
I mean, he looked like a football linebacker. I was like, man, this dude is definitely on something.
Hey, he looked like Mike in The Last Dance.
Right.
Yeah. Good point.
Hey, Kenneth, we're gonna let you go, Papa. We will see you next week. Thank you so much, man. That was I'm glad you were able to
I love
your weekend.
You get me going. Hey, all of y'all be safe and have a great weekend, man.
All right now. Guys, that's Kenneth Davis from That Davis Show. Great stuff. And my guy Jason is going to take the baton for the final hour, the anchor leg of the show. And we're going to welcome, my guy. And I'll tell you, so I got a funny story for you, Jason, real quick before we bring Phil up. So me and Phil hit it off like freaking gangbusters. First time we spoke on the phone. I was like, you got time to chat. I texted him, I got 15 minutes. So, we'll talk. I'm like, all right, cool. Dude, we ended up talking like an hour and 15 minutes, dude. An hour. We were just like, we just vibed. Okay. Mm-hmm. We were just vibing, and we hit this craziness. So I called him the other day, and because he had me on his show, and so he picks up, and because he's called the draft doctor Phil, and so he calls up, and so I'm like, he's like, yo, Shawn, what's up? I'm like, what up, Doc? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? He's like, dude, that is freaking crazy. I'm like, what? He goes, I am just downloading that song right now. Right now, I'm downloading that song for my show. I was like, you're kidding me. He goes, no. He goes, there's something. He goes, dude, that's crazy. I'm like, obviously, great minds think alike.
There you go.
Hey, guys, I'm so happy to have him on because he's great at what he does. He's gonna be up here next. We're gonna look at some film. We got a couple of clips from his show, one of his shows on the Tape Never Lies network. The Tape Never Lies. So we were taught in high school. The Tape Never Lies. And we're going to bring him up next, man. Phil Atoshin. So don't go anywhere, folks. You want some good football talk? We got some good football talk coming up next right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Big Ten football getting underway this weekend. Things starting tonight with Illinois visiting number 14, Wisconsin. Last year, the Illini squeaked out a 24-23 win. Kickoff tonight at 7 Central. Tomorrow, home kickoff for Northwestern against Maryland at 6:30. 2:30 Central, Iowa visits Purdue, while Indiana hosts number 8, Penn State. The Bears are set for Monday night's matchup. They're on the road visiting the Rams. It's a 7:15 Central kickoff. Chicago's 1-2 in a row, 5-1 overall atop the NFC North. The 4-2 Rams battling in a competitive NFC West. This year's Gold Glove nominees have been unveiled. 5 players from the White Sox, including Yasmani Grandal, 7 from the Cubs, including Anthony Rizzo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with any type of lung cancer? Even if you've smoked, your lung cancer may be the result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. In many cases, companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and that it was significantly more dangerous for smokers but didn't protect their workers. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 for more information. Who do you call for the legal assistance you need? You call the law firm that has the experience, support staff, and resources to fight for asbestos victims diagnosed with mesothelioma and lung cancer, even smokers whose risk factor is 50 times that of non-smokers. With decades of combined experience, they are here to determine if and when you were exposed to asbestos and who should compensate you. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, call for more information and a free case review. You don't pay anything unless they win. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 today. Sponsored by SWMW Law.
Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. Hey, so what you got any big plans this weekend?
I don't. I golfed Wednesday. Did my golfing. Hit a nice little 23-foot par shot, and trying to get a couple more rounds in. But I don't think the weather's gonna allow me. Trying to get one more round in sometime next week before I do a little vacation run here. But this week I think I'm gonna kick back and watch movies and watch football. And Sunday I'll spend time with the wife because the Bears and I are playing. So all wives are getting a reprieve this Sunday.
Honey, my Sunday is yours, baby. My Sunday is yours. I don't give a damn who's playing on Sunday. It's me and you, mama. Me and you.
There you go. So this Sunday I'm gonna use some wife time, and they get it when the Bears play on a Thursday or a Monday. They get a Sunday or for the bye week. So I'm gonna use my time wisely in my marriage this weekend. That's what I'm gonna do.
You can never have too many cool points. You can never, ever have too many cool points stocked up when it comes to the old lady. Never, never. Well, who's pretty damn cool as our next guest, and I'm fired up to have this guy. I was on his show on Wednesday. We had great reviews, man, and just our chemistry is really, really good. And I wanted to bring him on because he knows his stuff, man. And that's the whole thing is, when we talk with people, and that's why we bring great guests, on. Like I don't want to bring people on who don't know what they're talking about, and this guy's awesome. He's the founder or co-founder. He's the founder of the Tape Never Lies network. He's found his niche, just covering and breaking down Bears film. And I'm excited. You can find him on Twitter at FulfillO. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Phil Atoshin. Phil, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to have you back, Papa.
What's up, man? My Sunday's my wife's Sunday as well. I totally agree.
Yeah,
what's up?
Looks like Joshua Davidson said the same thing. I think we're all trying to be being good on Sunday. So everybody gonna be with their boo.
That old saying, if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Exactly.
My
wife, actually, her friend's coming up from college with her son, Dominican family. So we're going to be taking them, to the apple orchard. It's going to be the whole family day. So everything revolves around the Bears. So it's like you have to play that card correctly in your relationship or marriage. If I have a friend and they schedule a wedding in the fall or in the winter, they're no longer my friend. I always say that. I'm like, how do you do that? I can't. It's Bears season.
Better be the middle of the week, damn it.
Exactly. Well, Thursday night is fine. I'll be there.
Which is hilarious, Phil, because I got married the first Sunday in November 4 years ago, and it was on the Bears bye week.
That's okay. I would be at your wedding.
Oh man! So hey, Phil, great stuff. Like I said, I was on Wednesday. We had a great time, and I had to bring you over, and I wanted to talk some Bears with you. And,
yes,
because we had a blast, dude. We had a blast.
My God, the reviews are in. I have some crazy fans, and I love them. For the Tape Never Lies network, I am a co-founder with my partner Shane Marsaw, the smartest man we call him at the Tape Never Lies network, and the fans are loving Shawn Sierra. Cross-breeding here, I guess we'll say, in the millennial age, everybody. You know, I always say there's plenty of room out there for people who know football and are breaking down these Chicago Bears. Where I have a line, Jason, is where people are fraudulent, only focusing in on narratives or clicks, things that are hot button to get clicks. That's the complete opposite of what we do on my network. And when Shawn came on, keeping it 100 on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 East. I'm from the East Coast here. Just as he said, the fans have been DMing all week. Shawn was great. You go on my Tape Never Lies video, they're talking about the show. So you can't, I never lie. I push people to where good content is. That's what it's about. It's not selfishness. It's all about good people and good energy. Now, I can come off a certain way to certain people, and I can see, but if you don't have haters, Jason, you ain't doing it right. That's what Shawn said it too. The super back, get him the ball, get in the eye, Nagy, and get some yard. Just start running the football. Start using your best players. That's what you got to do in this business too. You find good players, and you relate, and that's where we are. So awesome appearance. Even my wife said it. She was like, Shawn was so awesome on your show. What can you say? I'm not going to send people over.
I'm with you guys, man. I'm with you guys. I just want them to sign a damn fullback.
We talked about that on the show. Jeez. They've been trying J.P. Holtz. They tried Ryan Nall. I'm looking back. I can't remember. They had Bob Christian here, and they cut him. He went to Atlanta, ended up becoming a Pro Bowl player. And I remember Antonio Carter and Jason McKee. They were going up there, filling the hole, running those bob plays, getting linebackers out of there. Listen, football, Shawn, me and my father, we go to Canton, Ohio, right? This is a true story, Jason. We're going in there. We're going in this room. You could press these buttons, and they'll virtually show you all of the Bears that are there, and they'll show their highlight clips. So how many people are seeing highlight clips of Sid Luckman? Not many, right? So my father and I are pressing the button. You're seeing Richard Dent. You're seeing Singletary. I want to see Sid Luckman. Obviously, Walter was the first button you press.
Of course, it's a given.
It's a given. But then I press Sid Luckman, right? The second play up there, you know what it is? In 1940, they're running bubble screen. In 1940. And you know what that said? My father looks at me. The game always repeats itself. There's nothing different. It's about execution and fundamentals. And when we watch this team, so if they're running, my point is, if they're running bubble screen in 1940 and we're hiring guys as offensive geniuses, gurus, and their offense is predicated on bubble screens and no, this has been done forever. You know who's genius? The guy right here in New England in my backyard. That's a genius because he says, we're going to do it my way and you're going to do it right. And if you don't do it, and I see you loafing on tape, and I see you not playing your game, our team game, then you're out. He doesn't care where you were drafted, how much we pay you. You have to have that kind of energy. And I look at Chicago, I love this team, just like we all do. I schedule my whole life around the Bears, right? If the game changed from Monday to Tuesday, well, Monday's the wifey's night because Tuesday has changed, right? So they need to get back to accountability. You're 5-1. You got people strutting their stuff, thinking, okay, this is a given. This is playoff. They blocked that punt, Shawn. The dude almost blocks the punt. I put it in the tape. If they block it, the game's a different game. They score, and the Bears lose. What are we saying now? What is Nagy answering now? I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's the reality of where I am right now in frustration where people are questioning the tape. You can't question the tape. No, you can't hide from it.
And not just that, when you know how to break it down and you know how to call what's supposed to be done on specific plays.
Right.
That's why people love you, and that's why I love football so much, because the tape never lies. And you go in there and you sit there and you watch, and people say, well, he sucks, he's this, and Montgomery's this, and Montgomery's that. Like, hold on. Yeah. Where does he have to go? Where did you want the hole's here, and this guy is pushed back in the hole. So where did you want him to go, and why does he suck again? It's so watching the tape and with real, or I should say with people who aren't as football IQ-ish as us, I want to say.
Right.
It's mind blowing to them, because like, oh, okay, I didn't know, and that's what we do. That's what we like to do, and I like to keep it real. I like to keep it 100, and Phil definitely does. So let's talk a little bit about this, man. We got the dub the other day, and I was very, very happy about that. Now we're 5-1, looking forward, but there's still a lot of work to do. One of my buddies was like, "Oh, dude, who likes this record?" I'm like, "I do." I said, hell yeah, we're 5-1. We're at the top of the NFC North. We're 5-1.
Right.
It doesn't mean we don't have work to do, but I like this damn record. Trust me.
Let me say this. Nick Foles, he came out. He made a showcase of the kind of leader he is. He spoke from his heart with passion. There was no script. That's the kind of football player, and what he said was true. But I feel like the culprit is the head coach hiding behind the record. And really, and I see it all the time, as Chicago can't have nice things. This is a town that I had to do a whole tape, Jason, just to show people that Khalil Mack isn't overpaid. Like I want to show you what he's doing each and every down, so you could shut the F up. So you actually can appreciate the reality of what this man is doing each and every play. I have to do the same thing for David Montgomery, to Shawn's point. Because I feel like you, as a football fan, you want the pretty comfortable chair, the blog boy chair, I call it. These guys, Charles Leno's, he's average. You can win with, no, you can't. There's no average. Where is average in your, we want to be 8-8. That's average, right? We want to get a C in school. That's who thinks like that? And fans are comfortable with these bloggers and now guys breaking down tape and tweeting out bullshit, to be perfectly frank. I don't have time for, I get so fired up with it, Shawn, because our fans, I know my fans, the thousands of them that are watching these tapes and recognizing, holy cow, I didn't even know that this is how bad it is. So then you have a level of understanding what David Montgomery's dealing with, what Nick Foles is dealing with, and why people walking around and not helping the team win the game on the tape. It's right there that's a coaching issue. There's no accountability. Shawn, you're in high school, you're running whatever, waggle. You're getting the fake. You got to block the backside end so the quarterback. If you go half and don't block that guy, what's your coach doing to you on the tape the next day?
Well, back when I played, that's when they could grab you by the face mask.
Yep.
You had one job on that play: block the backside end.
Exactly.
Are you going to get into? I have to put the second string guy in. No, I got it, coach. I got it. Okay, get your ass back out there. And it was just one play. It was a quick twist of the neck with the face mask, and then go out. But there's accountability.
Exactly.
Let's talk about the guys. We're joined by the draft doctor himself, Phillips, who's the co-founder of the Tape Never Lies Network. Talking a little Bears football right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. So let's talk a little bit about the guy he's the biggest. He's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's Jay Leno. I'm sorry, Charles Leno Jr. This is part of the biggest. This is one of the biggest issues that we have. So in 2018 he was okay. He actually played. That was his average year.
Right. And if you want to say average, that was his average year.
He was an average lineman, and Ryan Pace said, "Oh my God, we've got a steal in the, what did he get in the 6th round, 7th round, something like that."
7th round. It was actually Phil Emery who drafted him.
Okay, and so they decided to pay him. Well, in 18 he was bad. He was okay. He was serviceable. In 19 he regressed big time. So now you're stuck going into 20. You're like, okay, we have one good year, we have one bad year. Where is he going to go? Is he going to go back to 18? Is he going to continue the slide that he had in 19? And in 19 he just continued that slide. And the thing about it is that bugs me, and it bugs the hell out of you, is that there's no accountability for him because he's still out there. And I feel, and I think you might agree, the biggest reason that he's still out there is his contract.
Right. And I think that's a Ryan Pace issue. Let me say this about Ryan Pace. He said two things that stand out that I highlight. Every year, you got to draft a quarterback. He's not done that. He's done it once with Mitch Trubisky. You always got to get better at every position and try to get better. And we got to take offensive linemen, offensive tackles every year. He's not done that. He's done it once, actually twice now, in the 7th round. Hambright and Tayu Fabulije. So you could see where their emphasis is. So if you hire an offensive coach that's gimmicks and read option and everything like that, isn't your responsibility to protect it up first and foremost, especially if you believed in Mitch? Quoting Ryan Pace, the whole room. Now, granted, Nagy wasn't there, but the whole room was in unison. We all love Mitch. He was our number one guy, and they traded up for him. And then they don't protect him. They have Charles Leno. They got Bobby Massey they signed and re-signed. They've put money, and Ryan Pace has put so much money into his draft errors that it's become overlooked. And now you're struggling with a guy that you hired as an offensive guru or genius, and you're not there yet. So, yeah, Charles Leno. My last point on this before you break into it. How, in this draft, aren't you focusing in on improving the position? It's like my partner said with you, Shawn, on the last show, and you totally agreed. How do you know Hambright or the kid from Indiana, Spriggs, aren't better than Leno? Like the blog boys are all trying to pontificate. How do they know? You have played the game. I don't know, Jason, did you play football? Did you play?
I did not, but I've watched it and announced it so much. It's almost like I know it because I actually had one of the best views in the stadium from in the box.
Well, even if you never play, but you know this about players. When the lights are on, people show up and show their true colors. We have not seen Hambright. He could be the next 7th round steal. We haven't seen Spriggs. He was drafted in the 2nd round by Green Bay. I had him as my top 5 tackle. So he was injured there. We've seen Jimmy Graham sucked. Remember that? What a terrible signing. He's been your most consistent weapon on offense. How many touchdowns has he had? I said this prior. When they signed him, I was the only guy, Jason, out there saying, this is a great signing because this is what this guy was wanting, an offensive threat in the red zone. And what has he become? So you don't know. And I hate when people just brushstroke that, the broad brush. Well, he's got to be the best because he's out there. No, we've seen the politics, to Shawn's point, be played in the NFL with losing franchises. I led this off. The guy here in my backyard, Bill Belichick, he'll play a guy that was a wrestler in college. He didn't play a down of football, but every day they're going live to see who has this inside of them. I look at the tape. I saw another show, former Bear. I sent it to you. Steve Edwards, former offensive tackle. They're quoting me, calling Charles Leno Speed Bump Charlie, because that's what I call him on the tape never lies, Jason. Yeah, he's cracking up. He's like, he's soft. He's off. This is a former offensive tackle completely agreeing with me. And then I talked to all these offensive line coaches from the high school, college, and NFL, and they're all like, there's no way someone's not better than that. That's awful. So it's just protecting yourself from the bull that you paid this guy. Or he could be good if you hold him accountable, just like Shawn. I'm going back. If you haven't seen Keeping It 100 with Shawn, go over to the YouTube channel, check out, because Shawn made the great point about Vic Fangio holding Kyle Fuller accountable in front of everybody. And what happened to Kyle Fuller's career? He's the top 2 corner in the league right now.
Right.
It's not even close to me.
Well, let me ask you this, Phil. I think, a lot of people, when you draft a quarterback, especially in a high round, okay, he's the big prize. But if you don't give him an offensive line, I don't care who you put back.
I've been saying it for 4 years, Jason.
So,
I've been saying it for 4 years.
Leno is one part of the problem. But so here was the thing that Nagy did. He brought in a new offensive line coach this year.
Yep.
Which to me was like he was saying, well, it's not the players we have, it's they're not being coached up the right way. They're not being coached up.
That was the
way.
message, right?
The same problem. So is this the coaching, or is this that entire offensive line just having a complete lack of talent?
I'm telling you right now, it's coaching. I know it. And because part of coaching is what a lot of people miss, a lot of fans miss, is what Shawn and I are saying, accountability. I'm not saying Charles Leno's a bum. He's this. What he's saying on tape says what Charles Leno is. Do you see the difference? Like, if Charles worked his butt off like James Daniels did, you talk about a 180 in body, strength, power, effort. We're all those things in offense. Listen, my uncle was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Sam Rutigliano. My father is a Hall of Fame head coach here in Connecticut. So many job offers for the NFL to coach offensive line. I take a lot of pride in my family and the coaching roots. It's not arrogance. It's the truth of what I feel in my heart. So when I look at offensive line, I know as a coach, you could tap into somebody's effort, fundamentals, those things, and aggressiveness. You can improve on all of that. I don't care if the guy runs a 5'3", 45'5". If you are angry and play with an attitude and great fundamentals, take the first step, have pride each and every play, you are on top of those guys and holding them accountable, your improvement is leaps and bounds. Now, the first 3 games this year, Jason, I'm like, wow, these guys are playing so much better. And obviously, Leno was the biggest issue. But since the 4th game now, it has been a horrific. I'm surprised. I'm telling you, there's no way Nick Foles is going to hold up if this continues to happen. And it's also coaching here, Jason, real quick, on the X's and O's. If you know an offensive lineman, especially on the edge, is struggling, as a coach, you have a responsibility in critical passing situations, 3rd and 8. You got to chip and help that guy. Matt Nagy's like, screw it. We would have lost the Tampa game. Empty backfield, everyone spread. And Charles Leno if you remember, Charles lets up his guy. Nick gets hit. It's incomplete. And we got the call against the Tampa Bay Bucks that continued that drive to get you the points to take the lead. And that's how football is. But I'm just saying, as a coach, you could have prevented that by having a chip there. I'm talking about a 3-step or 5-step drop, and he's getting hit. It shouldn't have happened. But that's what's happening on tape. It's brutal.
Hey, we got a clip of the.
Actually, we got 3 clips. What's up, Phil? How are you?
Hey, Ivan.
What's going on?
Got the fire. Got the hype on the show.
Oh yeah. So I went ahead and I got 3 clips from the first clip that I wanted to show was Rashawn Coward. It's he's pulling, and then him and Cole Kmet end up blocking the same guy because Coward doesn't, he's not right off the ass of the guard. So we're gonna run that one first.
The tape never lies. Tape never lies. Starts now.
The tape never lies.
That's what you want to see. Here, more line confusion. Penetration, confusion. They're blocking the same guy. So right here is coaching point. See how far out and wide Coward is pulling? He's got to skim the guard's ass and get up into the hole and block that linebacker. If you aren't doing that, and here's a closer look at it, you got to go right off of Fetty's butt and get up on that backer. That would give Kmet the next man. And then you're blocking this correctly. But instead, your running back is being graded by the masses as having the issue. When really, in a team sport and an offensive line that continues to struggle with Matt Nagy's details, I mean, this is about fundamentals and knowing your assignment.
That's great.
See, so on that play, it pissed me off because that's coaching, and here's why. Because what initially Rashad Coward is supposed to have the middle linebacker, but what you say, you don't tell them you have the middle linebacker. You say you have the first one
that shows.
Opposite color jersey is the one that you hit. So when he comes around, he's looking for the middle linebacker. The middle linebacker goes out. So they actually did a cross. The two linebackers crossed. Okay, so the middle linebacker becomes the outside linebacker, and the outside linebacker came in. And so that's why he was like, oh. And Cole Kmet, it's just kind of going off of him. Like, well, you got the outside linebacker, and he crossed, so he's my guy. But technically, it's not your guy because your guy, Rashad Coward, is you got to hug the ass of the down block, and the first opposite color jerseys there is the one that you plow. And that's not the one he did. He looked for a specific man, and not the opposite color jersey. Because if that happens, if he comes around and he hits that, which technically the outside linebacker who comes in,
right,
and the Mike linebacker is going out. He's already got momentum going away from the play.
You've already got the advantage.
Keeps moving him, and that hole opens up like this, and there goes David Montgomery.
And then David Montgomery's great, and the narrative has changed. That's why I'm saying it's always about coaching. That's why I get so fired up when, there's so much intricacies inside that happen. So when I put a microscope on it, people that do go over to the Tape Never Lies Network on the YouTube channel or go to our Facebook, every week I put out a series here, as well as thank you, Ivan, for putting that commercial up there for the Patreon channel where I break it in even more detail. We're talking 40 minutes, 30 minutes of intricate football coaching details like you're seeing there. And you're 100% right. You scrape the guard's butt. First guy that shows you're blocking. The tight end now already knows he's reading you, and he's going to get the next guy. David Montgomery hits it, and you got a big play. And you heard Coach Nagy yesterday. It seems like with the run game, there's always one guy. Well, it's up to you. You can't tell. You got 52. That's not how it works when you're running this scheme.
Right.
That's why I know when Shawn's telling you he's looking for the guy. Oh! It's like the Three Stooges out. It's like a Chinese fire drill. No, get off his butt, block him out, get the next guy up in there, and David Montgomery's going. You gotta have an attitude with the offensive line. It's so frustrating.
Why is there a lack of attention to detail on the offensive line? Why does it continue to be the offensive line that lacks attention to detail?
Well, it seems like there's no accountability. Mm-hmm. How do you hold your kid accountable? How do you make them detailed? You have to be on top of them. Mm-hmm. You got to be that pain in the ass. If you're too worried about being friends, then you're never going to get the best out of your team. Mm-hmm. Listen, Nagy showed me his cards when he said, hey, earlier this year, I put the plays on the board, and apparently the guys actually liked that I was criticizing them openly. They came up to me. What? That's like coaching 101 as a freshman head coach. I was a freshman head coach. That's where I started. The first time I'm up on the board embarrassing each and every kid. You know why? It's the last thing they want to do is be embarrassed in front of their peers. Yep. It's more embarrassing there than it is on ESPN. Because you don't want to let your team down in a team sport. So to find out 3 years, or 4 years, the coach is finally doing this, and apparently this might be a rumor, Ivan, but I did see, And I see a lot of these guys writing stories off my stuff. They never give me credit, Shawn. They never give me. No one was talking about Leno except me for 3 years. Now they're talking, oh, yeah. And now this, apparently there was an argument in the locker room. Players were fired up on offense because they're getting held accountable finally. Maybe we'll see some changes Monday night.
Crazy idea.
Exactly.
Hey, Phil, I don't know how much time you got, but we got to take a quick break.
No worries. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah, we have two more. We have 2 more clips.
I'll stay for the 2 clips and.
Cool. Listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we'll start with those clips. So don't go anywhere, folks. More of the draft doctor himself, Phil Toshin, right talking, keeping it 100 right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. Big Ten football getting underway this weekend. Things starting tonight with Illinois visiting number 14, Wisconsin. Last year, the Illini squeaked out a 24-23 win. Kickoff tonight at 7 Central. Tomorrow, home kickoff for Northwestern against Maryland at 6:30. 2:30 Central, Iowa visits Purdue, while Indiana hosts number 8, Penn State. The Bears are set for Monday night's matchup. They're on the road visiting the Rams. It's a 7:15 Central kickoff. Chicago's 1-2 in a row, 5-1 overall atop the NFC North. The 4-2 Rams battling in a competitive NFC West. This year's Gold Glove nominees have been unveiled. 5 players from the White Sox, including Yasmani Grandal, 7 from the Cubs, including Anthony Rizzo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with any type of lung cancer? Even if you've smoked, your lung cancer may be the result of exposure to asbestos, and you may be entitled to significant compensation. In many cases, companies knew the risks of asbestos exposure and that it was significantly more dangerous for smokers but didn't protect their workers. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 for more information. Who do you call for the legal assistance you need? You call the law firm that has the experience, support staff, and resources to fight for asbestos victims diagnosed with mesothelioma and lung cancer, even smokers whose risk factor is 50 times that of non-smokers. With decades of combined experience, they are here to determine if and when you were exposed to asbestos and who should compensate you. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, call for more information and a free case review. You don't pay anything unless they win. Call 800-578-6685. That's 800-578-6685 today. Sponsored by SWMW Law.
Yes.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It is the weekend, baby, and it's about to get a little nippy here in the Chi. You know what? I went to CrossFit this morning. It was about 55 degrees, and I actually worked out outside. I'm like, oh, man. Actually, 3 people came in. Like, are we working out outside? And, like, if you want to. I'm like, let's do it now because it's going to be colder. It's going to be warmer now. It's 6 o'clock in the morning than it's going to be at 6 p.m. tonight because it's supposed to drop. The temperature's supposed to drop off the table. So
we had the air conditioning on here last night for my boys. It was so muggy here. It's 83 degrees at like 8 o'clock at night.
It was 80 here. I'm out in the southwest.
Oh, really?
It hit 80. I had a hyper warm zipper.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man.
That's the worst.
I'm like, these things really work. Let's take a look at another clip that Ivan has cut up for us so we could go over, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the game.
My boy, Ivan.
Yes, we got this next clip. It's Anthony Miller. He's coming across the middle. It's on a 3rd down. He needs to get the 1st down, and he does it. He plays games and he tries to dance. And this has been a common theme recently. You got a rookie beating you out as the number 2 receiver. Like you pretty much have Darnell Mooney as your number 2 now.
Yes.
And he's moved down in the depth chart, and he's just not doing enough for me. And this play in particular was a huge blow for the Bears because this drive I felt like should have continued.
The tape never lies.
Tape never lies. Starts now.
The tape never lies.
Weird about the record of a coach versus the reality of what you're seeing being coached. Those are two different things. Here, your wide receiver who continues to struggle, you're in a big third down moment. Every moment with this team is big. You're not winning games by 30 points. You got to move the chains. Here, your receiver doesn't know where the sticks are, and that's an issue. You're at the line to gain. You catch the ball and you dive forward, ducking under the tackle. He decides he wants to make a selfish play. I'm going to make a play. No, you're not. They get paid too, and you cost your team. When you're judged.
I love it. I love it.
That obviously courtesy of the Tape Never Lies Network. And we're on with our guy, the draft doctor himself, Phillips. And you know what, Phil? That is another thing. We talked about Anthony Miller. Talk about that and why that was so huge and childish, selfish.
I don't know what Ivan cut, but earlier in the game, I'm showing you on the tape as we're talking in high school, whether college, and Anthony's throwing his hands up, Jason, when there's a throw to Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet's still running with guys on top of him, and he's walking back on the sideline. And you see him, as Shawn and I were talking on our show, you see him dropping balls, not knowing the right route, and not giving effort in these blocking assignments, as well as the bubble screens where he can't read. He doesn't want to go inside and get you 7. He'll take it outside and get you 2. And those kind of things are about accountability. Again, here is a perfect showcase. I was a slot receiver at Hofstra. We used to do this all the time. I'm 5'7", 170 pounds at Hofstra. These guys are, you guys, I heard you in the before I came on, I was listening to you. Those guys, everyone was doing steroids. And, it was crazy how big these guys were. I was a young buck. I would catch the ball. A 235-pound linebacker coming at me. I'm getting down, and I know where the sticks are. He ran the shallow cross. You know you're going up against the zone. There's going to be the safety or the backer sitting there. You got to get it and unselfishly dive forward. You know what's selfish? Trying to make a big play for SportsCenter. You're not helping your team. Right there. This, like I said in the breakdown on the Tape Never Lies. You can go over to the YouTube channel. Self-plug here, and see the whole thing. You could sign up for the Patreon and see all of it. The reality is Anthony Miller is a concern. Not only focus catching, but moving the chains and making these plays. With a team that doesn't score and doesn't score red zone, you need to move the chains. You have to continue drives to get to these points, to get to where you got to go, to help your football team. And Anthony Miller, unfortunately, has shown a tendency to be about Anthony Miller and not about the Chicago Bears. And in this play right here, big third down. You tried to run, you didn't get it. So Nagy, what does he do? He goes shotgun. That's what he does on 3rd and 2. And trying to get this first down, and he throws it to Anthony Miller. And to their credit, they get the matchup. Anthony decides to be selfish, and they lose, and they have to punt. So that's just as good as, that's like a turnover.
It is. Hey, Phil, to that point, we've been asking a lot on this show, why not play Ridley?
Oh my God.
We
have a hashtag on our network called hashtag Free Ridley. Look it up, Free Ridley. I don't understand. Here's another Ryan Pace quote. I had Shawn cracking up. He is the beacon of light when it comes to route running, is Ryan Pace's quote on why they drafted him in the 4th round. This kid is about the profession. Anthony Miller is about the succession. All about, I want cars, money, I want to be on Instagram, talking. There's no accountability. Furry could talk all this big time talk you want. But to Ivan, you said it right there. Guess who passed you up on the depth chart?
Mhm.
Mooney.
Mooney.
Rookie. Rookie passed you up. Why is Riley? Why isn't our big boy from Georgia, Wims, out there? Why are you giving these opportunities to this guy who clearly is putting on tape dropped catches for Mitch Trubisky? 2 of the picks are completely in his hands. He drops it. One on Foles in the Tampa game, going down, boom, dropped off his hand. Now that one was a tough catch, but still, you touch it, you catch it.
That Colts game.
Colts. Oh my God.
He catches that football. It's a different game.
It's a whole different game.
I firmly believe the Bears could have won that game, but the lack of execution kept them from it. And Phil, I just cut up that one play that you were referring to right now with Anthony Miller. I'll just show that.
Okay.
So here we go. Off the sweep. Now I want you to watch the Mr. Selfish, Mr. Lonely. Lonely. He gets so lone. Look at him. This is in the middle of the play. This is Anthony Miller's reaction.
That's damning. That's some
I'm the only
evidence.
I'm the only network that's calling this stuff out, Jason. And I take a lot of heat from these blog boys because they want this narrative to be 5-1. Everything's okay. I'm not here to sell papers. I'm here like Shawn, Sierra, and Ivan to keep it 100. We want championships. We don't want phony. We want reality. That is damning. As a coach, if he's out there Monday night, I want a text from all 3 of you and be like, wow, wow, there is no accountability. And you know what? My father said it, head coach 33 years. If you don't hold your team accountable from the very best to the very bottom, then you are lost as a head coach.
And usually you don't have to worry about once you hold the best players accountable, everybody else understands they fall in line, and that's a situation that really bothers me with that, because on that play I'm looking, okay, so Cole Kmet is having a guy drag him from behind, and there's a DB who came on his side. There's not a lot of plays, and because they're trying to emasculate football. Okay. But then you come back, you got a crack back on that guy who's on his shoulder trying to get the ball, and you could just pick him off.
Maybe he breaks out of it.
Bingo.
How about that? We've seen it before. We haven't seen it lately, but we've seen it before.
And that kid's young, and he's strong. If you could create that collision, it could knock the guy off him in front, and he breaks the tackle from behind, and the guy who's coming up front is slowing down because he sees his guy's about to get tackled, and he's like, oh man, now Cole Kmet can stiff arm. There's a whole bunch of different things that can happen, but you don't give that the chance. You don't give that a chance to do that to come to fruition, because he stopped and walked off the field
and threw his arms.
He's allowing his frustrations. He's allowing his frustrations to go ahead and just it's. His frustrations are now showing on the field, but I'm afraid that they're going to start, catching on with other players. Like if other players start getting frustrated with him, I know people are trying to. I know players are trying to pick up each other. So somebody's in his ear trying to pick him up.
Yeah.
But he doesn't pick himself up and clean this shit up. We're going to continue to see a lack of effort on the football field from him. Why the hell should he be on the field if you're not giving me any effort? Like that Dallas game on Monday, there was zero effort on the damn field. I had to watch that game, reported it, and I was pissed. I had to sit there and watch a team with no effort on the field. Doing that, walking off, that's no effort to me. That pisses me off.
And you're a terrible teammate.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, Jason.
Terrible teammate.
It is damning to him. I got some DMs from maybe people from his family like that. He's trying his best. Listen. I have no agenda. Charles Leno, Anthony Miller, I cheer for the jersey. I always say this. It doesn't matter. Mitch out there, I wanted Mitch to succeed. People were calling me a Mitch apologist. Then you can't please everybody. I've learned that now. Jesus. But what I can do is keep it consistent, and I cheer for the jersey and I point out the truths that go on the tape like nobody else out there. I keep it 100 like that, and I'm proud of what we've built with our network and this relationship now that I have with you guys over here. It's something special, and really fans that want real football talk, that have played the game, they're like, bro, you're bringing me back to my old high school coach, my college coach that is keeping it 100 on the tape, because the eye in the sky don't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie, and you have to look at yourself. Now, is Anthony Miller a talented football? Absolutely. Absolutely. We've seen it. But what is missing, Jason, and this sounds like a broken record because, no pun intended, the record is protecting the coach. But the facts, look at that, right on time. The facts are there's no accountability. So therefore, why no Riley Ridley? Because this coach hasn't said, Ridley, get in. Miller, sit down.
Good point.
Imagine Anthony Miller's humbling, just like Fangio did to Fuller.
Yeah.
A humbling,
Now-
a humbling could do one of two things. It can make you or break you.
Exactly.
Make you or break you. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing if you do that with this team. I got one more, Phil. It's with your boy Chubby Checker, Charles Leno Jr.
Speed bump Charlie.
Speed bump Charlie. I'm on it right now.
And you cost your team. When you're judging running backs, first of all, you need to know what you're looking at. And you see a lot of missed blocks and chaos. So you have to know who you're blocking. You also have to know the front, and you have to have proper technique. And then on top of that, you also have to have aggression. So there's three pieces to the football chemistry here. Look at your left tackle, your left guard. He's doing the walrus. He gets his guy down, but it's all in the backfield. The tight end coming off the wing, pulling backside to kick out that guy, misses. And your left tackle should be getting up on that backer, which he then decides later he missed.
I'm trying not to laugh as I'm watching this, but I can't help it.
It's unbelievable, right? When I put the microscope on it, Jason, your reaction of being vulnerable and honest makes my day, because these fans that watch it, I'm like, holy shit. That's why David isn't Goliath. That's why he's not. And I'm like, guys, you think I'm going to put my name attached to this guy's your best offensive player and nobody realizes it? I'm totally against these other networks and sites that continue to justify Leno being average is okay or below, it's fine, there's no one better, and David Montgomery stinks. David Montgomery can't find that. No, David Montgomery is a beast. What he's doing is unbelievable with this line. My father goes, do you know how good 32 is to be doing what he's doing behind that mess? Imagine if they blocked it right, like they were imagine if they were the Carolina Panthers line. People are asking me to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you what it should look like.
Phil, you need people to tackle that, man, like at all times.
Exactly.
The first guy is not there with David Montgomery majority of the times, but if the first guy's a 300 and something pound lineman where he has to fight off, it's not, majority of the times he's going to go down.
Exactly. But this guy I don't do PFF because I know they hire these kids out of college that don't know the game, and their job is to grade one guy at a time. They don't know assignments. So you know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like they're good with like how many times do they come out in trips formation? How many times are they playing 22 personnel or 13 personnel? Those are good things for PFF. But when they're grading people 90% of the time, no, I'm not going to trust that. I want to see the tape. The tape's not going to lie to me. I'll tell you, like, Kyle Fuller is top 2 corner in the league. It's not even close. He's that good. People don't appreciate him. David Montgomery there. My point is, you have to know your assignments. David Montgomery I forget what the name of this is. There's some site that does high-end statistics. He's getting hit in the backfield more than any other back in the league. And it's not even close. It's like it's some crazy number. I got to write it down. I'm not a stats guy. But the number backed up my film work, and I'm like, wow. Because my buddy Bears Nerd, follow at Bears Nerd, Matt Cars, guy brings these numbers to the table that are actual numbers that you can actually work that will equate to the tape. So then if David's getting hit in the backfield by far and he's making these plays for your team, imagine what he's going to be like when you actually do assignment. And the coach, I'll give him this. He admitted every play somebody's making an error, whether it be physically or mentally. Yeah, coach, they are.
No shit, Sherlock. Thanks, buddy.
We had a good week of practice this week.
Phil, without a doubt, I definitely want to get you on my show on this network here pretty soon, because I just think, first of all, the clips are absolutely hilarious the way you can break them down, and it would just add comedy to our show. But the second thing is, I also think you are really on to something, brother, and I hope you expand what you're doing to other sports, basketball, hockey, baseball, where you can see this stuff literally going on. I think you're really on to something here, man. I'm dead serious. I think you need to expand it to other sports, find experts in other sports, can speak about stuff, because this type of nonsense happens in every single sport.
I'm sure it does. For me, it's hard because this is my second business now. My first business. I work a day job, and now I've started this business, and it's been explosive. I can't believe, and I can't thank all of these fans enough for signing up to our patronage channel and really I will be focusing in on the college game. Big Ten starts tonight, Shawn.
Night,
baby. I'm excited because I love Big Ten football. I focus on the draft. I'll break down the whole NFL draft, and that's going to be me taking college players and showing you why this person should be drafted over that person. Like, I was a huge against Leonard Floyd. Like, I wouldn't have drafted him in the second round. You're basing everything on get off, athletic potential.
He was basing on potential.
Exactly.
Potential gets you fired. And when you're dealing with a top 10 pick, you don't draft potential. You draft someone that's proven, and that's why his first true good pick was Roquan Smith.
Exactly. Roquan Smith. Oh my God,
a monster.
That last game has been tremendous to watch Roquan Smith and break his tape down. Some players get in the league, it takes them a little while. He talked about personal reasons. They never told us what those were, but listen, the tape doesn't lie. We'll be breaking down every free agent. So when Bears hitting free agency and some of these guys, the big name, who's going to fit what they're doing? We will see if Nagy's here, where this record's going to go. You already have people calling them paper tigers, this, that, and the other. I'm going to say this about the Bears. As negative as I sound on Matt Nagy and the offense, this defense is something very, very, very special. You don't see this kind of talent on defense. And oh, by the way, you added a Mario Edwards who's waking up and becoming a absolute animal against one-on-one situations. So if you get somebody in the interior that can beat one-on-ones and you add him to a Roy Robertson Harris, who's one of those under-the-radar types, and you got two of those guys with Akeem Hicks, Robert Quinn, and the beast, the best in the whole league. It's not even close. I know this gets people upset. I said, Shawn, the best I've ever seen play as a Bear was Walter Payton. No doubt. He's better than every player I've ever seen. I was old enough to see it. The second best over Urlacher, all of them, is Khalil Mack. It's not. It's Dan Hampton. You could throw Richard Dent. My father and I are watching his tape, and it's like, I don't think people realize what he's doing to the whole function of somebody's game plan. So if you have that, and you have an Akeem Hicks, and you have a Robert Quinn, who's tremendous, and now you throw in these other, that front with Kyle Fuller on the back end and Eddie that's why you can't waste this. No, you got to get this offense right because you have a shot to beat everybody. There's a reason, real quick, why Tampa comes here and it's a battle, right? With the GOAT. And then what does Tampa do to the hype show up north? They freaking, to steal from my partner Shane Mars, they boat raced Green Bay. Why? Because Green Bay does not have this defense. Mm-hmm. And defense wins championships. And in Chicago, that town, beautiful, the best city in the world. I live an hour and 40 from Manhattan. It's not even close. Chicago, you killed New York in regards to your beauty and everything. The reality is you always have won with champ defense. So if they just can get to the middle of the road, we got a shot at a Super Bowl.
Hey, Phil, we got to run, but
I love you guys.
Great stuff is awesome, man. Awesome stuff. And you can you know what, Phil, another shameless plug. Go ahead. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me right here at Phil_Atoshin. It's hard to spell. It's an Armenian last name, but I'm Italian and Swedish. It's crazy story. That's a whole nother show with you, Shawn. You can find me on Instagram. I don't do Twitter anymore. I did some drama on Twitter, and then you can see right here. You could go to the page at www.thetapeneverlies.com, become a charter member of the patronage. That's where I'm going to break down tape, coaches, clinics, live shows. Even my father's going to come on and break down the offensive line with me. That, if you love old school chalk talk, get in the locker room, and a lot of laughs there. If you like me, he's makes me laugh. He's 80 years old. He was doing 8 push-ups. What did he do? 8 push-ups the other day, showing me that he could still do it. He's crazy Italian from Brooklyn. I love him. But yeah, the Tape Never Lies Network. Also every Wednesday and after every Bears game, I do a live post-game show. Ivan was on the show. Come in as a fan, and that's how really this relationship is kindled based on your passion. Bears Hour live right after the Rams game on Monday night, and after every game we go live. It's been crazy on that show with 4,000 or 5,000 people watching and chiming in the chat using the StreamYard is great, and almost always Shawn. Sometimes the glitchy, but anyway, thank you guys, man. I love you guys. The Superback talked about chemistry. There's something about chemistry that I love. I was literally breaking down that song when he said, "What up, Doc?" And ever since then, it's like we're old teammates. We played in almost the same league.
Damn near, yeah.
There you go.
We probably had the same coaches. I can't remember one of the coaches that he left Holy Cross and went to, or he came from Hofstra.
Did he?
Holy Cross, yeah. He was a receivers coach. I can't think of it.
Was it Applebaum? Applebaum?
No. I'll find out and I'll text you. Hey, well, listen. Thanks, buddy. We got to run.
Guys, Ivan,
great stuff, dude.
Jason, just reach out to Shawn.
I'll get you. Yeah.
You get me together. Love you guys. Shawn, I can't thank you enough. And Tape Never Lies fans, please give these guys a follow. Great show early every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here, breaking down Chicago sports and the Bears. I'll be back a bunch. I love this guy. All right, guys.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Have a great one. Go Bears.
Bear to freak down. Yes. Guys, we want to thank Joseph Phillips for coming on. Also want to thank Ken Davis. I want to thank our guest, David Kenyon from Bleacher Report, talking a little Big Ten football. Want to thank my guy. You see him he has the baton in his hand for the anchor leg, Jason Palmer, for coming on. We always appreciate that. I want to thank the guy we just got off with, Phil Atoshin from the Tape Never Lies Network. And I'm telling you guys, he's thorough. You saw that he's thorough, and that's what I love about him. You know, we were able to sit down and break down tape and talk about tape. And it's not like when I first saw his stuff a while ago, I was like, this guy, he had to have played. And like, just because of the way he broke it down, the way he talked about it. And sure enough, I went. He's been a high school coach for a long, long time out in Connecticut. And I'm like, I like this guy because of the fact that we can speak coach. We can speak coach, and we are able to, talk about, certain plays and what they should have done and shouldn't have done. So I want to thank Phil Atoshin. Make sure you follow him on the Tape Never Lies network. It's great stuff, and we want to start doing a lot more things with him because he just knows his stuff, man. And there's nothing better than, like you said, Jason, guys who know their stuff. And there's no argument. You can't sit there after seeing that Charles J. Leno Jr. freaking those two clips and say he's average when he hits nobody on those two plays. I take that back. I was wrong. He hits the wrong guy on the first play, and then he hits nobody on the second play. So when you have that, and that's the type of football and accountability that I was brought up in, all the way through my professional days, and even in my semi-pro here. We watch tape and say, "Hey, listen, you messed up. Okay, you misread the block. You did this, you did that." And that's the thing that people need to see, so so people can stop being as stupid and saying, "Oh, he sucks," or "He's good," or "He's that."
I agree.
No. That's an old saying. The tape never lies. The eye in the sky never lies. So, guys, thank you very much. I want to send a big shout out to my technical producer, Elliot Baez. I want to say what's up and thank you to our social media posting fool, man. I love Clarence. He is keeping us up with the Joneses, man. You want the articles of what's happening damn near up to the minute? Check out our app, SportsZone Chicago. Clarence Council is posting. And then, of course, I want to thank my guy here's on the bottom. It's apropos because he's the foundation of this program. He's my Puerto Rican Swiss Army. Put that thing, that lower third up. He's my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife. He is the whiz. He is the man behind the curtain, the guy who does it all. And I want to say thank you to Ivan Vargas. There he is, the Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, aka the whiz. He's going to keep on moving, keep on down the road. So, well, we got to go, guys. You have a great weekend. So, for my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai, for my co-host, to run the last hour, Jason Palmer, and my producer, Ivan Vargas.
Hey guys, don't forget, check us out, the Barely Pregame Show at 10:30, and then the Basement Monsters podcast at 11:10 on Sunday. Bear down.
Okay. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. We're going to take a 69-hour break, and we'll be back to talk more football, more Bears on Monday as we prepare for our Monday night showdown against the LA Rams from LA and the Vatos over there and everything, Holmes. All right, we'll see you then, guys. Peace.